What's up, everyone? We are here for another very exciting Super Millions, 10 million in the prize pool. This is season 2, episode 42. I'm Jeff Gross. I'm joined by a very special guest, Brian Rast, absolute crusher, high stakes, won so many millions, 7.5 million title. There, look at it. He's just on screen. He's in Madrid. We're both in Madrid. We have been doing commentary for Triton all week. Series is concluding. Rast, it's been a long, fun week. How are you doing?
I'm great, man. You know, Madrid has been awesome. Enjoying doing the commentary. I've actually played a couple of the tournaments here as well, which has been really cool. Didn't do that in Cyprus. Played a few cash games. I'm a little worn out. I'm a little ready to get back home. Maybe actually there's a game waiting for me the day after I get back home as well. So, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna find time to sleep. Maybe after I'm dead. That's how I'm doing.
Well, sometimes you don't need to sleep. I appreciate you coming. I know there was a late night last night. I don't want to go. You may or may not have played some of the biggest cash game I've ever seen in my life. I don't want to say 2K, 4K, 8K, 16,000 straddle. That may or may not have happened. But today, it is on the virtual felt. We are going to see a Super Millions champion crown. This is season 2, episode 42, and we are got a $10 million prize pool, Rest. I don't know how acclimated you are to online poker, but 10 million in a prize pool for online poker is absurd. It's a 10K, 1.4 million to first. I mean, this is big money, big names. We're going to get to see an amazing final table here starting momentarily.
Yeah, man. I was a little surprised to see how big it is.
Well, we're going to kick up the action right away. And a player you may be familiar with, Chris Klodnicki, absolute legend of the game, been around forever, has some great results. And he is, look at that, on cue. This is what we do. They just come on cue, the graphics. He's won over 4 million in GG winnings alone. Super Millions had some great results. And there's a little look at his profile as he kicks it up here with a pair of 7. So, you know, interesting. We love talking ICM. It is 9 left, right? 180 guaranteed, 1.4 million. This is the more intensive part of ICM Rast. We don't want to go into ICM lessons, but you can see Oli Shemian defend the big blind with 9-10 off.
Yeah, I mean, I know Chris Klodnicki. I played with him before. Certainly, he plays some mix.
Thoughts on the 9-10 off? I mean, I guess they're just deep, right? This is they got a lot of bigs. This is an open, very healthy stack, pretty standard.
I mean, he defended the big blind, right? To essentially a min raise. Seems pretty standard. I feel like you can't, I mean, you got to peel that flop for smallish sizings, right? With overs to the 8 and the gutter. So, you know, I mean, it feels like now he's probably going to want to show down the 9. So whether that's a check or a block.
Yeah, let's see what he does on the river here. Very interesting, as he did flop he had a gut shot. The 7 obviously would have been hard to come, but now he does hit some equities on the river. And this is always interesting to see what players do here in a spot where they're not sure they're good or not. And he is going to check. And Klodnicki does check back. And we're going to see 9-10 does get to a winning hand there. So nice start for Oli Shemian. Another player that has a lot of success live. I mean, his results are insane, and he is no stranger to the big prize pools and big buy-ins. So familiar with him. Jal Vieira, also unbelievable player. Simon Matson, one of the crushers as well. I'm kind of rattle him up. But look at that, 9.4 million in GG poker winnings. Super Millions alone, the specific 10K buy-in weekly tournament Rast. He has 2 million in earnings. So I mean, this is a very impressive final table. Some other great players there as well. We'll sort of tease as we go. If we maybe could look at Simon Matson's results. He is also just one of the absolute online legends of the game. You may be familiar with him, Rast. More of an online player, but I mean, these are big numbers. These are guys putting up, we're just talking about online on GG alone. So see him again there. And Klodnicki, man, getting busy, getting some kings, and not much going for the 3-4 suited in the big blind.
No, there's not going to be much to analyze about this hand. I mean, I can't see anything other than a fold from the big blind. So,
yeah. Fast start for Klodnicki in terms of getting distribution. He's getting dealt in 1 for 2, and we see the blinds are 250K. So we got some play, but it's not super deep, but this is definitely a lot of play, and this is a function of this special series going on GG right now. That there is. The prize pools are just absolutely huge, and this is going to be one where this isn't going to be a super turbo for sure. There will be some play, and we're going to see some special stuff and see the big stack with 19,500,000 going for an early position, 9-handed under the gun +1, King 7 suited. Look at this, the relatively shorter stack, going to put a little bit of a pressure 3-bet here with Ace 8 suited, stepping out a bit.
Yeah, I mean, king seven suited is pretty much stone bottom of range there. I mean, even a hand you're probably not supposed to open, but he's opening, I think, kind of trying to leveraging his stack, hoping some players going to play a little tighter. Uh, Feels like there's nowhere to go when you get three bet, especially, I mean, that stack was pretty short. So, you know,
Yeah, I think
doesn't feel like you can peel that.
Yeah, I also think really nice recognition there from that stack, understanding the risk premium, right? He's one of the shorter stacks, kind of get moving a bit, and also noticing the big stack is going to be opening wider than most. So I like that ace eight suited, taking a bit of a chance early on, but does go ahead and get that through. And here Ole is going to open the pocket eights, pretty standard, of course, in the cutoff, and big blind, not a hand, really wants to tango, so going to fold and take that down. So good start for Ole, coming in, defending, getting there in a flip situation, got to realize his equity, and then picks up the pair. Just no contest. I mean, nine-handed Rast, not a lot, very popular format, eight-handed generally. This is a nine-handed final table to start. So we'll see how wide people go, because obviously nine-handed need a little better hands to come in with. And here we see a couple of reasonable hands. Ace queen surely going to be playing.
Yeah, it looks like he's just under 30 bigs. So, I mean, some decisions here, whether to flat, three bet, what do you do against a jam, or just jam yourself? And looks like he wants to limp in position, and not a good flop.
So it's a raise and a call. We see, if I'm pronouncing it right, Pagan 1-1. So I'm not as familiar with this player. He is in the lead in the hand and out flops his opponent as well. So let's see what he does on the king 7-7. If he wants to start betting, checking, does go for around, what is that? It goes about quarter pot. And this is not the flop you want with ace queen, but you do beat some hands and some pairs you might want to get cute with. But I don't know. I mean, this is a little dicey for him to start flatting and messing around too. His stack's very vulnerable. So I'll be curious what he does here. Does call.
Yeah, 5-1, and he's probably thinking there's some hands he's ahead of, you know, weaker aces, maybe some other like queen and jack high type hands. 5-1 being good enough. But yeah, I mean, it's dicey and definitely can't continue versus a barrel.
Yeah, nice bet here. I mean, this is to your point though, right? There's going to be on the king 7-7, king jack feels pretty good. I guess obviously ace king would have heard from. King queen, pretty unlikely. Other than that, you're in decent shape. Maybe there's some aces, traps, but other than that, you got to feel pretty good. The double barrel does get it through, so a nice pickup there. And Papagon 1-1 is on his way. Gets a couple key pots to start. And this is a pretty grim distribution, nine-handed. 2 4s. This player's been active. Let's see if he kicks up the 4s here.
Yeah,
early
you know,
position.
I get, you know, flat, but listen, I kind of like just ripping in the ace queen off. I mean, I think it's a hand that for like 25 bigs or so, you just get to rip versus a 6 max under the gun open.
Right.
You know, I mean, it sucks when you get called, really, but the truth is it's just so nice to pick up the chips, right? I mean, you're essentially getting 2.5 plus the open, like nearly 5 big blinds when you take it down. And like it's just a hand that it's just nice to get it in. I mean, if you want to flat the ace queen suited, right? Just rip in the ace queen off, get that fold equity. So I feel like, I mean, small mistake, I would say there, but not a big deal. I mean, you can definitely flat it. It's not like it's that bad or anything.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Simon Matson, though, is definitely one of the elite players in the world. Online is regarded as one of the best. And yeah, I mean, obviously a very close spot. So it would have worked out as we know it. Probably better to shove, would have got it through, but, you know, took a little less variance line and ultimately backfired a bit. We saw 9-7 suited from the
I mean, you know, the flip side is sometimes you take this line, you're still alive. You're just shorter on chips, right? And it's true. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that helps you ladder. Also makes it a lot harder to win the tournament. Oftentimes, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of ways the pot can play out when you flatten position too. But I just think like it is higher EV to rip there than to flat. And yeah, I mean, maybe you're slightly more likely to go out when you rip, but I mean, you're pretty short. So there's a lot of ways you can go out when you flat the hand as well. You know,
For
I
sure.
mean,
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely. Yeah. And Oli Shemian does open up king queen off here. We saw Chris Klodnicki fold ace jack off on the button. What do you think on that? I mean, sort of early position, obviously knows he's a talented player and just kind of thought it was a little marginal, but definitely I think we could reasonable to see a flat there or even a 3-bet, but he does fold ace jack. Thoughts on the button fold with ace jack?
well, versus the 8 max under the gun open.
It's 9 hand. Yeah, exactly. So Oli opened from under the gun +1 9-handed. Yep.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's a hand that I'm definitely okay with the fold. Think it's fine. I mean, you could also, I mean, it's a pretty great hand to 3-bet. And in some ways, I'd almost like maybe prefer to see a 3-bet versus a flat. But I mean, I think it's a hand that can mix pretty well there, and definitely a fine pass. But I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's a pretty cool hand to 3-bet. I mean, obviously ace and jack both blocking, you know, and even though that range is tight, like when you do get flatted, I mean, occasionally you'll dominate, like ace 10 suited might flat you, king jack, queen jack suited, jack 10 suited, etc. Pretty easy to fold when you get jammed on by anyone, including the guy that opened. So, you know, I think it can play pretty well that way, but totally fine with the fold, in my opinion.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, we see Chris Klodnicki fold king 5 suited. That may be a function of the button off of 5 mil. Just doesn't want to get jammed on, but I think a little bit snug. But if you're going to be snug and you get aces the next hand, that's okay. So he's going to pick up aces, and Rui Ferreira with jack 10 suited in the button. This could definitely be a pot. We see threes in the small blind, but actually the open here may cause us to not see a flat from, you know, an open aces, flat jack 10 suited. This is going to get kicked up and may just save Rui from getting involved
I
in the
think
pot.
these guys are a little too deep here for the flat play. I mean, oftentimes on like 20-ish bigs or so, you'll see a flat sometimes, but I mean, they're like nearly 40 big blinds effective. So, I mean, you don't really see it there. And this is a pretty large sizing. I mean, well, it's not that large. It's not small though. And
Yeah.
it'll get the job done versus basically like bottom of range 6 max under the gun open.
Yeah, we saw last hand as well. Papa 1-1 just kicked up the 9-3 offsuit, I believe. It was against 8-3 suited, but showing aggression, 3-betting the ace 8 suited. It's been taking aggressive lines, and this player looks like really, really looking to go for it. Now we got Ole coming in with a weekend, see if interesting if he completes, or maybe 3Xs, put some pressure on 2.5Xs. Does go for the raise, which this time I think ace queen we're gonna hear from that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, actually the ace jack offhand going back to Kakon Kote on the button. I mean, listen, he can definitely flat that as well. And I think like maybe with no ICM and normal opening ranges, it's more like flat 3-bet mix. But I think sometimes in these spots at final tables, when like opening ranges get a little bit tighter, sometimes people up front with ICM, it's a little dicier to flat the ace jack off. I mean, you could still do it, and he has a lot of chips, and I wouldn't hate it. So, I mean, I really think it's a play for that hand. Rather, he could have picked any 3 options. But I think right now, open to the final table, I do actually like more fold or 3-bet. So I actually kind of like his fold. Totally fine with it. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, here we see.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Ace King off going to open, and this is, you know, João Vieira with Queen 9 off under the gun. The implied odds not really there. Just decides to let it go. Can't blame him. You know, strong range from the opening under the gun, and flatting there doesn't do you too much good. And here we go. Couple playable hands. 10s under the gun. Active player, big stack, and we got Ace Queen suited from João Vieira in the small blind. I would expect him to flat, just how deep they are, out of position, the situation. But I guess, you know, also very reasonable, could 3-bet, although 9-handed under the gun and where their chip stacks are, I think it's more likely to take the less aggressive line. But I don't know. I mean,
love to see what he's going to do here.
Yeah,
definitely, you know, could go either way. Can't hate it either way. I mean, high variance 3-bet. I mean, personally, I think flatting is the play that you tend to see, that most people do most of the time in this spot, right?
Yeah.
And 8-9 suited here, just loving it. I mean, gotta see that flop.
Yeah, everyone just completely misses. I mean, 8-9 suited, such a pretty starting hand, just no connection there. Closing the action can welcome the call, but now tens, you got to feel okay, although you don't, it's a modest flop, right? So if you have tens, you got to expect there'll be some overs. So this is actually not the worst board because likely not ace king in there. So this is going to go ahead and bet and look at that. Shake some equity with ace queen and 8-9 suited goes out of the way. Nice pickup there from our roughly one of the chip leaders, actually is the current chip leader. Going to get you some notes on him if we can pull that up as well. Kakano Kote, if I'm pronouncing that right, in a good position right now, right at 20 million stack. So sitting pretty nice.
Wow, look at
here.
this little setup here, and he goes for the bigger size and going to make it even tougher to get away. So I don't think there will be getting away here. Price probably going to be too good, right? I mean, 4.2, he's going to have to call 3.6 to win, like, I don't know, like well over 5, right?
Yeah, this player's been aggressive, but let's see if he decides this is a spot. Probably, understanding not doing super well against this range that's shoving, and he is going to be in the tank here. And Kakam Okote, it's his 7th Super Millions Rast. No final tables, no cashes. This is his total winning 0, but he is chip leader playing for 1.4 million. So big spot here for Kakano Kote. All right, we see the fold there. Good discipline. Nine-handed Rast. You don't see a lot of nine-handed these days. Online to a lot of tournaments, 8-handed. So this portion of the tournament does consolidate. Instead of playing a 5- and 4-handed tables, it goes to 9. And 9-handed, you got to be a little tighter. Got to be a little more aware of hands and what can happen. But king queen suited certainly going to be an open and similar spot where João Vieira's got ace jack now in late position. I mean, curious what he goes with.
That's a pretty snug fold of the ace jack suited. I mean, in a spot where he only probably needs like 39% equity or so. I mean, it's right because he doesn't get that much against queens. But I mean, I think you got to start putting the guy's range on what, like 10s plus ace jack in order to fold ace jack suited. I'm gonna run this in like poker, a little poker cruncher here.
All right, well, we got an action turn card. We see check, ace jack content with ace high, but this is a card that is going to be problematic because Rui Vieira's got now a 2 overs and a flush draw. Let's see if he's going to try to put some money in the pot. And he does go ahead and bet, maybe figuring he can fold some suited, ace highs, ace jack in particular. I don't know if ace queen goes away, maybe some ace queen suiteds that flat, but this is also, if you have a pair, if he has 5s or 6s, he's going to put some pressure on. So let's see what João comes up with here. Does stick on. He's got the best hand, Rast. Not easy to realize it, though. 2.7 million, important pot, and king high. See if they follow through. Blocking the backdoor clubs. This is not the easiest bet to make, but kind of probably recognizing not many hands beating. Maybe jack queen suited. Not a lot of combos of that.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's going to check.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, going back, I mean, assuming he just checks this back here, going back to that hand, like, I mean, ace jack suited is getting the right equity to call against 7s plus. I mean, it's getting 40.1% equity against 7s plus, ace 10 suited, ace jack off, king queen suited, which is like super tight. Because like GTO small blind jamming range versus 6 max under the gun open is like way wider than that. Like pairs go lower, more suited broadways, kind of more you can get some suited aces that like mix lower than that. So I mean, against a really tight small blind range there, you're basically just getting equity. So yeah, even I mean, he's calling. If he loses the pot, he's still got 5 million. So there's some ICM effect, but it's not too crazy. It's also worth a lot to chip up there.
Sorry to interrupt you, Rasty. Give me 1 second. I'm curious. This aces. I don't want to. This is a big spot. I'm curious if Ole's gonna flat, which seems like a very reasonable play. Maybe because of situation and the chips and where he's at, just doesn't want to get cute. But this was definitely a spot where he could flat.
Is he gonna take it? Is he gonna take the 3-bet to 5-bet jam ace 5 suited spot? This is like the hand that solvers love doing it with here. And will he take it? Or will he flat or will he fold?
This is pretty sick. I mean, there's so much at stake here. And yeah, I mean, look,
I like the fold.
You're in the Sunday 215 or the 250 buy, maybe just go for it. But when there's one, you're sitting in what, third place, basically a healthy third. It's worth 860K. It'd be pretty ambitious to just rip it in there with that. But hey, look, that's also how these players get here. Make plays.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, I kind of like ripping more than calling.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, definitely don't have to take the spot. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, going back to that hand, I mean, that ace jack suited is almost certainly, in my opinion, a call versus that small blind rip for like, I think it was like just under 20 bigs on the hand. I mean, we saw he had queen, so, but this isn't live. There's no, I don't think there's reads. I mean, maybe these guys have, some stats on, I don't know how much they played with each other, but yeah.
Yeah. Interesting spot. Also been interesting if Ole flatted. Tell me about what factors for Ole there with aces when he gets 3-bet from that position, their stack sizes, and what's at play rest. What would you have liked the flat, or do you actually see the induce? Because the guy could just have kings or ace king, right? And you get to get it in, and you're sort of deep. I mean, deep-ish. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's merits to both plays. Obviously, the less likely Joao is to be kind of 3-betting light, the more you want to just 4-bet against hands that just make the pot bigger. They're not going to fold, right? So the more likely Joao is to be doing something like what he did. I mean, now flatting becomes a little bit more attractive because those hands don't put any more money in. Right. And I mean, aces is the one hand you kind of trapping even. I think even with the ICM considerations right now a little bit, like you just take your chances to win a bunch more chips with the best hand possible. So, I mean, there can be a lot of, I would guess these guys who have a ton of history of online have played a bunch with each other. Right. So Ole, I mean, maybe Ole actually 4-bets light there some as well, which would incentivize them to want to 4-bet with aces. Right. So, I don't know. I don't think there's, I mean, I would even guess I would guess aces is mixes. So it's not like I don't think you have to do one or the other.
Yeah. Well, king, queen here, board a little dicey, but it does have a winner. Let's see if Ole is going to try to make a meal out of this or just show down. Not too many hands. I guess the button, right? The hands that the button isn't betting though, going to be weighted towards some showdown value, I imagine. And he's actually high up on his hand list for showdown. Ace, not a great card, but it's going to win the flip. And guys, Rast, you keep mentioning, you've said 6 max, 8 max. Are you referring to after players fold, how many players are left? Or,
yeah,
that's
from their opening position. Yeah.
Yeah, just clarifying, because there's been a few people mentioning like it's 6 max or 8 max, but he's just referring to as it folds, what position the player, how many are left to act, and how many are in the hand, and he's referring to that range. So yeah, that is just a clarification here. Again, the boys are, wow, look at this, ace 2 soft. This is sort of like the Stevie Chidwick, just putting the pressure on, just saying, you know what, there's a lot of ICM. I got a weak ace. I don't really want to raise and deuce. I'm just going to ship it here, and nothing that can be done by Matson in the big blind. And a nice pickup from Ole. Ace 10 off, tough spot, under the gun, 9-handed, shortest stack, risk premium the lowest. Going out isn't as a big deal as a middle stack, but it's going to go ahead and get an open. And Joao Vieira again has a modest hand, seeing some under the gun raise from this stack. I mean, this guy does look pretty strong. Going to give it up. Ooh, aces, man. 9-handed, Rast. They get passed around a bit. Not much to defend. I guess the jack nine suited. Oh, there's the eights as well. So we got going to have a spot here where
I
Rui
will say
has
this,
to.
according to something I'm looking at right now, it actually does prefer four betting the aces there. Four betting aces, kings, ace, king suited, and then mixing in some weak hands and just flatting with a bunch of other stuff. So,
Okay.
but
Yeah, sizing here, the eights get three bet. Nikki's been playing pretty ICM conscious. Folded the ace jack off, full open folded king five suited, and the cutoff. And here he's got eights. He's getting three bet. He's getting quite a price, but not a fun hand to really be peeling, trying to set mine out of position when you know a talented player is going to be putting pressure. But he does decide the price is right, and he is going to see a flop here with those eights. So has a
flops
heart.
like this are part of what makes it more tougher than set mining, right? Because
Yeah.
it's pretty hard to check fold this flop to a three bet. But yeah, I mean, the reason there is because you might be good. So Chris could, I mean, especially for this price and with a heart, hard to see him folding here. I mean, that would be a really tight fold. But you know, maybe some ICM, this doesn't want to stick around, figures he gets bluffed off some. And this is another trouble card for him. Because now he's got to figure, well, if I don't have eight, if maybe if my eights aren't good, I can hit a heart. So see what Rui does. I mean, he's got to figure if he's ahead here, maybe he's only giving up two outs to his opponent as well. Or do I just really want to win all the chips? So, I mean, I think you sometimes see checkbacks, sometimes you see just barreling.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, that's kind of a cool spot. And I'm pretty sure he'll make something on the river now. I mean, Chris actually might block here. Okay, he doesn't. Interesting. And now, bet, what do you like here, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think you can go a decent sized bet. I mean, you hope your opponent has a heart, maybe kind of has it figured out where he's at.
Yeah.
And he goes for a real
all
big.
in. That's greedy. But
It's pretty sick. I mean, I love it.
Chris has a heart though. I mean, he might, like, you got to think about calling this, right? I mean, I'm not saying he will, but like, listen, he's using some time here. And I love it. This is the chess clock. So I wonder how deep into his chess clock he goes.
This is sick, dude. This is a very sick spot because as played, Rui does find a way on this river to go for the
just have
jugular.
ace king off. He can have ace king off with no heart,
right,
and just be like, fuck it. Like, my opponent has a pair so often here. Like, what if he has a pair with no heart? Like how can he call this? Right.
Yeah.
So
this is the one you just hate to be in the spot. And also one of the reasons why playing this pair out of position is so difficult, even a situation like this where you're sort of high up in your range, making the flush. It's not easy. I think he's thinking, what does he do with ace king off with one heart? Like, probably would he bet the turn, right? So then you start thinking about, like, hands you check back. What hands does he really have?
Yeah, like maybe like aces or kings with a heart are like the hands you expect to see here for value. Maybe ace king with a heart as well. Maybe that one. I mean, those hands might all play one way or the other, right? Like we even said with aces with a heart, maybe he bets the turn again. So, I mean, like, the other question is, how often is someone bluffing here? All right, Chris, listen, in the moment, he made the right fold. That's all there is to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, again, you have to be very confident in your game. You got to be comfortable playing post flop. You're going to play difficult hands. You're going to get put in some difficult spots. And ultimately, he did make the right decision even after getting to a river and improving. So, credit to him for sticking in there and then making a tough decision correctly in a high ICM spot. A lot of money on the line. I mean, look at the pay jumps. Really, I mean, fifth is 500K, Rast. It's a 10K buy-in.
All right. Well, I mean, we're about to see an all in here. I don't really see how this goes any other way besides just open 3-bet, fold, 4-bet jam call, right? I mean, I just like at tens too strong to flat here. You're loving it against the cutoff opening range, and you have a lot more chips. I mean, your opponent only has 20 big blinds. It's great not to let Kakin Kote in the pot as well in the big blind, even if you did want to flat trap. Like, why let Kakin Kote in the pot? You don't really want him to squeeze like with tens, right? You're trapping him with like 70 bigs. Yeah, like this is just the easiest 3-bet of all time.
Yeah.
As in, there's just like no argument for anything else. And so they're going to get it all in. If you were going to trap there, you'd pick something a little better than tens, I think. Like something you'd be more comfortable getting in with the big blind. Like maybe queens. Definitely, you know, or queens plus. Like I would think maybe you mix, but not tens.
Yeah, it's just going to go all in. And I mean, tens obviously it's not 3-betting to fold. So we will see a big coin flip here, roughly a coin flip. You can see the tens has the advantage. What a flop, 70.91% all of a sudden. A little bit of a sweaty turn, but the 10 is not super available. And look at that on the river, man. Just a huge king, such a big jump. And everyone in the table not rooting for a very good player to double up. And Javier still in. And of course, that roughly 54,000 Rast. I mean, that's like, you know, you're the one when you're all in a tournament, you're short. People are always rooting against you. That's just how it is, right? People want to ladder, people want to make money. And that is a big blow for the field there because Simon Matson's got some chips now.
Yeah, man, that's keeping the bubble running. Or sorry, we're not in the bubble. Keeping the 9-handed running.
Yeah. Yeah, that was big spot, big pot, and we're gonna still play 9-handed as ace queen suited. I gotta say, Pagan is impressing me just from the standpoint of the ace 8 suited 3-bet from the big stack right away, 9-handed. I mean, that's a bit of a high variance spot, like on the positions, players to act behind, understanding where he's at. I like how he's chipped up, and he took himself from one of the short stacks to, you know, now sort of strong middle of the pack. So let's see what deuces do here to the under the gun raise. I think
you got to set mine for the 300. Wow, that's a tight fold. I mean, getting over 4-1, like you're the shortest stack by a while. Like that's just like, to me, listen, let's have a separate discussion, which is that I understand that in these spots in tournaments with ICM pressure, like you can't defend your big blind as wide, right? Clearly, because you're not going to be able to fight as hard. But deuces is a hand that's so easy, like whatever, 7-1, 7.5, whatever it is, you flop a set, and then you're just super happy to get in the rest of your chips. Like for even stacks much bigger than his, you're immediately getting over 4-1 there. And against a strong opening range, when you flop the deuce, like you're probably going to win at least a C bet. So to me, it's just like implied odds print, and it's only costing you like less than 10% of your chips. Like, honestly, I think that's a mistake not to defend, like straight up. And I don't think there's any argument otherwise. And I say that in full recognition of the fact that, you know, maybe with ICM pressure, big blinds need to defend a little less tight. But that was, yeah, and not with like small pairs though. Those are just beautiful hands to do it with. Anyway, there, rant over.
Love it. Makes a lot of sense. And as we see ace king and queen 7, so the 7 paired on the flop. We're going to get to a turn. And Chris now hits a magical card because he is high up the top pair, top kicker on 8-7 deuce ace board. So ace king feeling pretty good. And, you know, SPR still some play. It's not just all in spot, but he does bet. Of course, queen 7 going to be a little suspicious.
And that this is kind of a cool sizing where if called, it's like just under 5, and he's got like an 80% river shove. And this hand like loves this type of sizings, as well as, I mean, you know, bluffs love this sizing. I think this is a really nice like sizing decisions by Chris. And I mean, just here you go, 80%, whatever, all in. And I mean, wow. Oh, wow. He checks back ace king. I mean, to me, that's like a little too tight. Yes, I know 6 is filled in a few draws, but yeah. Wow. I mean, okay. So like clearly it's plus chip EV to value bet there. and maybe I'm just getting a little too wedded to it. I mean, it does suck when you're getting trapped and you're out of the tournament versus like winning that extra potentially, I mean, 4 million, it's a lot. So that's the argument. Maybe Klodnicki is right. I mean, the flip side of that argument is that, like, how often realistically are you beat? Like, probably not that often. Yeah, it's, you know, maybe it's not a slam dunk spot. So, you know, Chris is making me think about it that way. I think all that said, you're probably missing out on value even with ICM by not value betting a hand as good as ace king. Like, realistically speaking, it's almost top of your range. Like, maybe even check back like ace 10 or ace jack. But I mean, ace 10, like your opponent, maybe he has ace jack, some, I don't know. It's close. Interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I will say this. I'll die on the hill that deuces was a defend in the big blind. I will die on that hill. Bet money. The ace king, Chris just checked back. Like, I think I'd bet it's a bet, but like, I'm not going to die on that hill. Let me put it that way. That's what I have to say. What do you think, Jeff, about those two spots?
I mean, the deuces I'm definitely calling as well. I think I love this term. You know, this is the risk premium, right? He is not in a vulnerable position. Look at his stack. He can't just fold out. He's got to find a spot. He's closing action with a pair. Now, of course, you're not going to flop a set very often. You're going to be in some difficult spots and maybe potentially talk yourself into a risky situation. But really, I mean, you just
you can just always fold. Just always fold if you don't flop a deuce, right?
Right.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I would approach that spot. And the ace king, look, I'm on the cautious side. I think Chris is, you know, a world-class player, one of the best, but it does seem high up in the range. I just don't know. You know, I guess just feels that the pot, it's like for him to get called by worse. I think that's a big question there. What does he think he's getting called by? There are hands, right? There is a bunch of hands that could call him. So yeah, I think that was ultimately
7 queen called a pretty big bet. Like, I mean, 7 queen probably folds that river, but I don't know. Like, sometimes guys hero, man. Like, Rui had a lot of chips, and like sometimes guys just don't believe, like, straight up. So yeah, like, I'm just value betting that, I think, you know. And if the guy's trapping me somehow, like, God bless, I guess I'm out in ninth.
Yeah. Yes, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Here we got an interesting
but
flop.
Again,
Ace queen.
Just want to say, not dying on the hill. Anyway, take it away, Jeff.
Ace queen, king 10 suited, reasonable defend. King 10 suited going to jump into the lead. And Pop got one who's been pretty aggressive, goes for that 25% pot, so keeps the lead in the hand. And you know, king 10 suited certainly going to be playing. Just has a matter of check call or check raise. And I think check call just is the standard line here. We do see that in a welcome card for the king 10 suited. Going to get a little more comfortable.
Hold on. Beautiful card for Joao. And this card is actually a card I think Pagan will barrel more, because with the queen of spades, he's blocking some like queen X type hands with the backdoor flush draw that might continue here. So kind of an extra nice barrel hand, right? With a range advantage on this board. Like, I would not be surprised to see a barrel at all. Like, I almost think it's like the slightly preferred play with this combo. But, you know, I mean, it's fine to give up. You don't have to. Yeah. But like, I actually like this play. Like, we see it's not going to work, but I think it's the right play with ace queen with the spade, you know? So, I mean, wow. And just like, what a nice hand to call with the king 10 suited here.
It is, but it's also dicey waters. Of course, you can't fold.
Like, have to call. No other option.
Wow, what a run out. I mean, the just absolute dream run out here. Of course, crosses your mind, could you be super cooler? But you got to just, I mean, how the board ran out for you here, make trips, just got to see is, can Papagon ever pull the barrel here? Is he going to ever unload the clip? But it's kind of hard to unload here. This SPR is 1.
I mean,
less than 1 stack power ratio.
I mean, here's the thing: is blocking ace king, king queen isn't necessarily the most relevant, because why? Ace king certainly never plays this way from the big blind, and king queen may or may not. So yeah, I'm sort of okay with the check back. I'm not sure his hand is actually one of the best ones to 3-barrel all in on the river. I think like other ones, like maybe 10-9, or even, and like maybe even without a spade, or even better. But like, Thought that was just a super well played hand by all parties, frankly.
Yeah, I love the sizing. Thought it would be big, and it was. That was a meaty size there. So hope you guys are enjoying. This is again the season 2, episode 42. I am Jeff Gross, joined by Brian Rast. We are going to play to a winner today. 1.4 million up top. I've been doing a lot of commentary with Rast on. We did a lot of trading events. GG, a proud sponsor of that. That's been a blast. We were both in Madrid, and Jack 4 suited getting a little saucy there.
You noticed that, right? I know you were talking, but I didn't want to cut you off, but I was making faces like we're going to talk about the guy opening Jack 4 suited from like 6 max under the gun, or the low jack, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, let's keep it LJ. These, YouTube chat going to keep you on point. They like that. They realize it's 9-handed right now. So he's referring to the positions, and this is we're going to see some people go for it for sure. You get to see creative players in big spots take it up, and Ole here just folds the fives, decides with that stack it's not the implied odds not there to flat, and also players behind. But Kellen Cote definitely going to have something to play. And I think at this point players realize this player's been pretty active, and he did. Kellen Cote got 3-bet earlier. I wonder if he could ever just rip it here, but it plays well. He does rip it.
Those numbers are like their VPIP, right? So his VPIP is the highest at the table, 35. Yeah.
Yep, a little more comfortable too for a shove there versus maybe some other players. Yep, we can see a fast start. We're seeing a lot of action. We saw a huge collision already, and João Vieira going to lose that pot early, but everyone's in it, Rast. No one's gone home yet. No one wants to leave. There's a lot of money up top.
Just rips it in and think no one's going to call. Ace 10 suited here. I think too light to call on the button versus a UTG 9 rip. And yeah, didn't even make a meal about it. PDC Mayor knows what's up there. Nice fold, sir.
Look at this distribution. No one has much of anything but Ole with ace-8 off. Probably the most experienced player here. It's hard to say that with Simon, João, Rui, and Chris Klodnicki though. But I mean, Ole's got a pretty special resume, Rast. I don't know how familiar you are. You probably played some live poker with him, some of the high roller stuff. I mean, he is a world-class player, has a lot of accolades, a lot of titles, and just a guy you don't love seeing at your table.
Yeah, I have played with Ole before, certainly.
Yeah, cool guy, and just got a nice aura about him. Really great table presence, and just knows where he's at and what's going on. I gotta say, this is a treat. I was not aware. I did get the notes. I got the memos. We've been pretty busy in Madrid, Rast, but I was not aware of the significance of this prize pool. This is like a Triton type payout for like some of the high rollers. I mean, 1.5 million is a beast of an online payout. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying. This is definitely high stakes as it gets.
Yeah, listen, winning 7 figures for a 10K buy-in is always pretty sweet. I mean, you cannot be disappointed with that for sure. Right. I mean, that's like, I'll tell you what it reminds me of when that like December Bellagio tournament or whatever is pretty good. And you're getting the like 7-figure payouts, whatever, like the 5 diamond. Sometimes that's even a 15K buy-in too, to get there with rebuys. So yeah, I mean, that's like, those are some nice payouts for 10,000. Is this a rebuy tournament?
So the Super Millions, you can satellite in, you can get in. I believe it is a rebuy tournament, but correct me if I'm wrong. There is a special series going on at May 5th to the 31st, just absolutely ridiculous, like the biggest online guarantees ever. So maybe some people in the chat can help us with that. I am not positive on that. I believe it is though. I think that's a function. Look at this 10 million prize pool for a 10K. Yeah, I'm going to say it is, but look at this, Rast. Ace-9 off, getting saucy. Yeah, gets the Rockets, and I actually missed the action.
What happened pre-flop? Did we miss it?
I missed it. I was focusing on.
Was it like raise flat? And did he
that makes the most sense.
Check raise.
And Klodnicki not messing around, but yeah, I believe that is how it went down.
I mean, listen, guys, that is the classic airball ace of clubs blocker check raise play. Okay, that one is that one's a special one. Guys are more and more familiar with this after solvers, but I was doing that play 10 years ago. Just we'll say that, let it be known.
Yes, you got some tricks. You got some tricks. I'll tell you what is.
Now everybody thinks they're special because it's a good play. You're blocking a huge class of hands that can continue versus check raises. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was in my bag of tricks a long time ago. So I recognize that one. Yeah, ace is flat, right? Yeah. And then he went for the check raise. I actually kind of like that line. I think it's kind of a cool line with the ace nine offsuit there. Chris Klodnicki, got rewarded for his play with aces. Kind of cool hand by all players. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that we're going to see. The king jack off just knows it could be up to no good from Rui in the small blind, but he does have the tier one ace king suited. So good release discipline. Could consider some four bets, but I don't think that's the general position matchup. He's going to go for the four bet. So interesting start here. And we got.
I played the most like wild hand with jungle that he like reminds me every once in a while. One time where like, who knows, like 10 years ago, like a long time. I did that. I did this play. I like check raise flop with like some ace high, no pair with the blocker. I bet turn. And then like, it was this weird thing where all these straight draws missed on the river. And I just had this feeling. So I just checked it to him and he like made this bet. And I was just like, man, this guy just missed a straight or something. And I called him. And after that hand went up, he lost his mind and he remembers his hand for like 10 years. So like, I wouldn't actually remember, but like I just did his podcast or whatever with him and he like brought up the hand when we were talking. So it kind of reminds me about the hand, but yeah. So like, listen, not lying about it. Jungle, listen to my podcast with Jungle. You can see that I did it to Jungle like 10 or 11 years ago live and then actually stopped bluffing and just check called and picked off a bluff on the river. So it was a pretty wild hand. So that's what I got the Brian Blast nickname. Anyway,
right. I like it. I like Oli Shemi in there flat. So we had nines and tens flat. And look at Queen Jack off, just taking the initiative there and getting two players to fold a better hand. So I've been impressed with some of the players' aggression and just really going for it. You can tell there's some talent here and people are not afraid.
Here we go. Little ace three suited. I mean, I think you just ship it on in here in the hijack. It's so nice to pick up the 765K. There we go. And gonna get it through. So to the dismay of many of the other stacks on the table.
Yeah. That is a key pickup there, getting a massive stack increase. And again, no one has gone out. We've only seen a collision, I believe, one time for a at-risk all-in. And currently, this is PDC Mayer with eights under the gun, too. This is kind of one of those spots where he's just so short, but it's so many players left to act. It's not fun. He goes for the raise, not the shove.
And here another hand where I don't think we're going to see anything. I like it. I like that he didn't defend the big blind against the under the gun open. I mean, by a guy off of a tiny short stack. I mean, yeah, it's a fold. Nice fold, Joao Vieira.
And Rui can open this queen 10 off with his stack in these positions. It'll be interesting what the deuces.
I think some people make bad defends there, especially against a short stack, super tight range. Anyway.
Yeah, so here we go. Similar spot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got 4.5 behind. He's getting like 4.5 to 1. I mean, like, you don't have to win that much more to make this a profitable call when you flop your set. It's just pure, and you're only risking 300K.
Oh, and there's the other side of that, Rast. We got to see the flip of that, and this is a bit ballsy, but it's also realizing too the chip leader from that position is going to have a wide array of hands. So really nice recognition. PDC Mayer, man, well done.
Yeah,
nice pot.
Yeah, and we can see he's got the 28, so the second highest or one of the highest numbers here. Chip leader opening from a spot he might be kind of wide. So cool little find. He's going to be super happy to slide that one through as well. It's always nice when you do that with pocket deuce, not to get called, So
Yeah, here, ace nine suited, just going to get a good safe flop. Nothing the big blind can do. Oh, nice hand. Ole chipping up all the names sort of. I mean, there hasn't been a ton of movement other than even Pagan one got up to 10 million, down to 5 now. Got in that ace queen to king 10.
Klodnicki chipped up some. I mean, he was like single digits to start this, and now he's in the over, he's like over 12 million. Simon Matson got that double. He was shorter, right?
Yeah, he's chipped up a lot too. He's had a great start here.
All right. I mean, good flop for him against the big blind. Like, this is a hand that just loves betting. And usually, like, this type of hand generally sizes up decent. So it's a tournament. So like maybe half pot or so. In cash, you'd size up more than that. Wow. So a little small, but like, I think that's okay. I mean, the problem with these smallish bets, I think, is you get some confusing continues by your opponents in spots. I think queen 9 is strong enough to go a little bigger, but I mean, this kind of stuff isn't that big a deal. Like, I do think this is a hand that should probably pure bet the flop though. So I think checking is worse than whatever the difference between like third pot and whatever sizing.
Yeah.
So now this is interesting. He's going to go bet, check, bet, I guess. Wonder, I wonder what Chris Klodnicki does versus a bet. I mean,
these players so familiar with each other. Curious too.
I mean, like he doesn't, it's like actually kind of, I mean, he has more threes and like probably more flushes. Like it's not absurd to like check raise bluff this hand, in my opinion. You check hoping to get to showdown. And when you don't get it, you're not very good against value bets. I mean, you can call, like all three options are on the table, but like honestly, turning this to a check raise bluff is kind of a cool play. But folding or calling are like kind of fine, I mean, go with your gut, Chris. What does your gut tell you, man? That was probably the play that was correct based on the gut. Not that fun to try to check raise a queen 9 there. Definitely find some heroes. So yeah, but like, not saying I expect it or think you should, but I mean, I kind of think that's a spot you could just check raise big because you're repping a very strong range there. So it should not be small. It's like flushes. Honestly, given the line and the sizing on the river, I think 3 threes as well. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, here we got a real hand, ace king off against Ole Shemian's open. Look at this, just the full bit. So he's got what, 33.5, 7, 10, 5, like 30 bigs, ace king offsuit doesn't do. So Ole showing a little ace and saying, hey, I got something. All right, we see sevens folded to here. And he's showing that he hasn't just jammed. He's been opening. This is a little different spot.
No.
I think this one
is a rip.
feels.
This is a rip, man. This is a rip.
Yeah, he's been a little like min raising under the guns and stuff, but he's been showing this non-rip
but
style.
He's going for a big sizing here, which I kind of like if you're not gonna rip, maybe. So, because sevens is a hand you'd like to discourage some big blind calls, I think.
And Rui just says, yeah, 6-2 suited, not going to peel for that size. There's another look at the payouts, Rast. Just two players over $1 million going to be awarded. 860 for third. Top five getting $500,000. I mean, this is serious stuff, man. I'm actually shocked too how big this pool is again. But that's what Super Millions does. It brings you that 10K online event. You can get in for $500 satellites, $1,000 satellites, other avenues to enter. And of course, some of the world's best, but there's also some unknowns here.
Man, it is just one of those things in these tournaments. It's like, I mean, yeah, ninth, like 180, 181 is like a pretty good score for 10K, but Jesus, like you're close to some serious money right here, right? I mean, 0 to 181, 181 to nearly 1.5 million. 181 is way closer to 0.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and I think ace nine here. Yeah, it's exactly right. Ace nine off. This player's been tight. It is a button shove. He is the shortest stack, shoving on the next shortest stack. I think ace nine's just got to look it up. It's risking 3 million. It's got 20. It just feels like it's just going to be a ship in here. I'd be a little surprised otherwise. Of course, it's nice when the whole cards are up. We're like, oh, you got him crushed, but really just against this range, the guy, he could get talked into VPIP bend so tight. Maybe there's just like a scenario, but it's just a situation. And there it is, ace nine, king nine. We could have our first elimination here. And so far, no help for king nine off. Get some help there, Rast. There's some help. Oh my goodness. It is, I mean, Rast, you know what I just realized? We've had such a good time together. It's been 2 weeks of doing commentary together every day for Triton. We finished. We're now here for the Super Millions. I think we might just go all night. I don't know. We might not lose anybody. This just might be the time where we just like no one ever goes out. And I know you're tired. You haven't really slept, but I'm enjoying what's happening so far. There's been some big action, but all the stacks are kind of, people aren't short. There's a lot of healthy stacks.
Haven't really slept is a euphemism. I did not sleep last night. I played a massive cash game and then had to do commentary all day.
You got to do commentary.
And guess what? I still showed up when I told you I was going to do this tonight. Even though some shit came up, I still showed up. I didn't bail. Even though, I mean, it's, I love you, buddy. I'm doing this for you. All right.
Well, I appreciate that. I know that the YouTube, everyone appreciates you being here, guys. We do have a legend of the game. Go ahead and Google Brian Rast. And by that, I mean, just check his results. Check his hand and mob out. Rast, I know I've asked this before. You're a humble guy, but you have north of 20 mil. What's your hand and mob? Give me like roughly, not to the dollar. You're over 20 mil.
Yeah, I'm north of 20. I don't know my exact number anymore. I haven't been playing as many tournaments in like the past probably 3 years. I had a stretch where I played quite a lot for some years, even though for the beginning of my career, I was like a cash game player. I did go through a stretch where I played both cash and tournaments and was just a very hard worker, kind of backed off tournaments. And then in COVID, I just didn't even play poker, but I'm kind of coming back around to poker. I've refound some of my love for the game. Coming out to Triton's really helped me with that. Doing this commentary as well, like watching players, a lot of like all-stars, superstars, some of the best in the game make decisions, reverse engineering what's going on, even opening up some solvers and stuff, which I had never even done because I was just like, I'll just play mix. But now I'm like, no, let's take a look at some no limit stuff a little bit deeper. And yeah, man, like, love poker just after the little sabbatical coming back, and it's just so fun to compete. So, maybe my guess is I'll be playing a few more tournaments than that stretch in the last 3 years where I had very, very little results, probably not as much as the mid 2010s when I was like, playing all the biggest ones. Don't know if I'll do that again, but step it up. And listen, I still play big mixed cash. Right. So, I mean, that hasn't changed, but yeah.
Absolutely. And also, guys, I want to invite you to check out our podcast. Rast and I do have our own podcast together called Big Free. So that is something we've done, I think 5 or 6 episodes, and we obviously going to keep building on that. So give that a shout. And look at this, Rast, light on light, Jack 8 off, King 5 off. upstairs. So both players more exciting the King 5 3-bet than the Jack 8 open. I think the open's not so crazy, although the two players he's opening into are very talented players. But King 5 taking a marginal hand and really finding a way to make a profit out of that, which is not everyone's going to make that play.
I mean, more and more, everybody is making that play. That's just what solvers love doing for like mid 30 blinds with like king little offsuit versus button opens out of the big blind. It's a nice hand to do that with rather than defend like the king 5-4-3 deuce, like the queen 5-4-3 deuce stuff. So yeah, I mean, it just goes to show that Joao has been doing his studying, knows what's up, knows it's the spot. Probably Ole is a better than average person to do it with, because we can see that number 32 there. He is a dude that's probably opening the button even a little extra wide. So maybe making a mix into slightly purish type play if you really want to get after it. And, you know, I mean, listen, some of these guys playing great. Love some of the hands we've seen Joao play. A lot of good decision making. PDC, after he was the guy who folded the ace jack suited. Not sure I love that, if I remember, but then he's really stepped it up since then with a lot of good plays. I mean, look at this, just coming after Roy. Unfortunately, it's not going to probably work out for him in this hand. Pagan with that cool double barrel, just a lot of people. Chris Klodnicki with some good hands. Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of really sharp, accurate play so far at this table. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, 4-1 dog though here. Jacks to you know what? Could be our first elimination, but no one has a club. Oh, not going to be a chop pot. Down to 2 outs, just like that, Rast. We might have our first elimination, and it is not a 6. It's an 8 on the river. Great game, PDC Mayor. So sick is right. So pretty unlucky. A couple players at risk. Over 2.2 millions in earnings, but no super millions earnings. So that'll be a change in that. 180K, 927 going your way. Well played, my friend. Great score, 9th place. Going to be down to 8-handed now, and Rui has got a bit of a license.
All right, I let you go, Jeff, but I got to go now before this goes off. I got to respond to Sandy Sanchez with this one. Listen, let me tell you, Sandy, I don't really count 3K no limit tournaments, even though it was 996 runners, 6 max WSOP. It was sweet for a bracelet. Listen, when you played the biggest stuff in the world, I'm not going to really count that, because listen, I'm just going to say it out on a stream. I'm not going to pretend like Phil Hellmuth that I'm going and beating up amateurs and like not the best in the world and 3K 6 max no limit, that just makes me like the best in the world because I won. I'm the best 6 max player in the world because I won the 3K 6 max no limit hold'em bracelet. I can't say it. I can't lie. I can't look at you and lie and say those words like maybe Phil Hellmuth can. I love Phil Hellmuth, but like the truth is like, you know, that's not it. Listen, I'm at Triton right now and I'm watching guys play 100K buy-in tournaments playing fucking awesome. And, you know, you want to say you're the best in the world, you got to go play the hundreds, the 250Ks against like Adamo and Chidwick and these killers and Jason Kuhn, Makita, Mateos, and like beat those guys.
Yeah, there's some beasts.
Right? You know, I can't. So, yeah, I mean, given that I did play those tournaments and just everything in the past, you know, I just, yeah, that's how I'm gonna look at it, right? So just can't lie and say like, oh, I'm back and crushing everything because I won a 3K bracelet last summer. You know, it was cool. I loved it. It was fun, but that's that.
Rasty, I love it. Hey, listen, I love YouTube chat. When sometimes you got to fire off though, you got to just, you know, engage and interact. And there it is. You heard the Rasty rant right there, Rast. We have got a special payout today, 1.4 million up top. We got Oli Shemian and we got my man in there with the 5-6 off. Flops a little equity, Rast. Does he have it in him? Does he have a 6 high check raise to go out next, but maybe pick up a pivotal pot? Does he go for it? It's against under the gun.
No,
bit dicey.
I'm gonna go no. Although
this guy's got heart.
It won't be to go out. Listen, it won't be to go out. If he does a check raise here, it'll be to like 1 million and he'll fold, but not like ship it in. That would that would be crazy.
Right. Well, we didn't see it. He showed the discipline. He does show he's a diggy player. I know it hurts for him to give up on pots because he does go after them, but we're going to move on to the ace-10 off and a pretty comfortable shove here in the cutoff with this stack size. I mean, you can't really ask for much more than that. No customers, I guess you could ask for. Just a clean pickup for about 800, 900K when you have the stack you have is very nice. So good pickup there. Hanging in. Got a lucky chop. Ace nine to king nine already has laddered at least 54,000 from that encounter. So now not the shortest stack either, Rast. Another 70,000 pay jump in. Our friend from, I believe, Russia is not the shortest stack right now.
Wow,
And
ace five
suited.
Here, but against the under the gun open, I mean, and you have no fold equity, right? I don't think so. I think I passed this.
Yeah.
Right? With no fold equity. Yeah, I like that. Pagan likes trying to win pots, but also knows when not to. I like it.
Yep, very nice. Jack seven suited against under the gun. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is going to get called.
I like it. I like it. You defend that. Please tell me you defend that, Jeff.
I do.
Off of this stack, Jeff, for sure. I mean, they got some blinds. It's offsuit. I think you can let it go. Definitely. But suited, I think you gotta defend that.
All right, so eights with a spade, Jack seven suited, no spade, top pair, and definitely is not in the business of going to fold when top pair comes. This is a pretty intricate card. Really is interesting as it gets. So it picks up all kinds of stuff going on here. And Jack seven suited, actually, it gets dicey, but you do hit two pairs. So now you're feeling pretty good too.
I mean, eights kind of has like an interesting hand to. If you really wanted to find some three barrel bluffs, it's probably one of the best. Then again, I mean, listen, that's one of those insane lines that you don't see people take most of the time. But actually, out of hands that are like three barrel bluffs, like you're double blocking 8-9 and you're blocking flushes, and you don't have that much, like you don't have a ton of showdown here. Like when your eights are good, because your opponent has like king, queen, or whatever, you're going to face a river bluff a lot. When they're not good, so it's actually kind of a cool hand to three barrel bluff. But I mean, just people don't do those lines most of the time, nor, maybe should they every time, but yeah, I mean, I don't know about the bet check bet. It's not so good as a blockers with the bet check bet, because you're not really repping 8-9 or flush as much anymore with bet check bet.
It's sort of when you got called here on the flop, though. There's really nothing you're beating.
Of course. No, I think he realizes he should bluff, but I think he also realizes it's not that credible a line, nor is blockers quite as good anymore. So, yeah, pretty interesting pot. I do like having that eights with a spade as some three barrels there. If you really want to get after it and try to win that one. I even wonder, like, on that turn, seven of spades, like the big blind has all the 8-9 offsuit combos and maybe even more flushes than under the gun. Like maybe it should lead a bit, and jack seven, two pair, jacks up might be a pretty good turn to lead, right? Because a lot of hands that you're beating check back, like one pair hands. So yeah, when you get raised, it's ugly. So like people don't like making that play, but my guess is you probably do lead that some. Yeah. Interesting hand, right? I mean, really, really kind of interesting hand there in a way. I mean, like it wasn't that much of a pot, but that's one of the cool things about poker. Like you can kind of dive into some hands like that. And yeah.
Yeah, very, very interesting spot, and a lot of respect amongst the players here. As we know, they do tango frequently. They definitely are aware of their games. And Ole going to get another spot. Actually, king seven suited off his stack, though. Got to imagine this is going to get opened up here. Just eight-handed with his stack. I mean, he has got a towering stack. We could see a runaway situation, Rast, potentially. Although there's a lot of guys here that I don't think are going to let that happen. Sometimes the cards just how they fall. It does, and Ole going to flat and get himself in a good spot to start.
Is he going to overflat the threes now? I mean, okay, no. Some people would, but trying to set mine here. Not saying it's right or wrong, but just was curious to see what he would do.
Yeah, so the interesting part about this hand is the positions. Ole is going to have a lot of these suited broadways, some pairs. King seven suited. Rui gets to open 9-7 suited. He gets to open a lot of stuff here. So he's kind of got some good board coverage. Be curious if he takes this an aggressive line here, but he just calls King seven
Yeah,
suited.
I was wondering if he was going to check raise or check call. I mean, I don't think he's ever folding versus that bet size, clearly. And this is all like kind of range play right now. Like Roy's checking this flop a lot. It's probably slightly better for in position flats range. And that's probably why Ole bet it. Maybe he wanted to get ace highs to immediately fold, right? Like ace highs that don't have a spade or don't have backdoor clubs. Um, so, but then, yeah, then just giving up after being called. And Roy, who maybe would have bluffed this hand, right? Like check call, check, check, bluff river, obviously hits the 7. So now like doesn't need to bluff. And now
Right.
Ole, do I need to bluff? And he, yeah, interesting.
Well, he didn't. And King seven suited. And look at this. I mean, there is some separation now. 30 million, second 16.5. We got a 13, 10, 10.
Uh-oh.
Is this Rockets as
Uh-oh.
the
And
overlay
look
popped
at the
up?
button, Jeff.
Oh my goodness.
This is
No, no, it's
fucking
not.
trouble right
Is
here.
that aces to kings? Dude, this is
Yes.
not, that is an unreal situation. And talk about ICM. The first, second stacks, it colliding, it's so rare. It's almost impossible. This is a crazy deal right now for everyone involved. Wow. I mean, look at the 3 and 4 million stack here. You just don't want to believe it. A player as talented as Rui has the chip lead.
Wow. And you
This
just
guy's an
click it
aggressive
back.
player.
You just click it back to like 4.8 here or whatever. It also kind of looks like maybe you're just applying ICM pressure
Wow,
and
this is
King
absolutely
rips it in.
insane. This is one of the bigger hands I've seen in like a long time for money, right? With this kind of a
Yeah.
cooler eight-handed at a final table. This is literally insane. And this is wild.
Yeah. He's going to make it like 5 or like 4.8.
Look at the time bank. He's really milking it, man. He knows the
Yeah.
situation. He also knows this guy probably is not messing around. But I mean, we're gonna find out here. And this is Kakano Kote just got into a really sick spot here. I mean, I don't see a way. Like, what are you doing here? You're just kind of cuffed.
I
Is he
mean,
ever flat? But
I'm
what then?
curious
What?
if he flats instead of ripping it. I mean, actually, that's the thing. This guy sized down so much here that maybe you just flat. I mean, it's not like 5. Yeah, he sized down a bunch.
Wow.
And
I mean, the
I mean,
thing
no
is though.
ace, like no ace. You're just, I mean, here's the thing. The guy just fucking raised 3-bet, 4-bet. Like he doesn't have jacks or tens. He's kind of got aces, like maybe the other kings, but probably not. Or like ace king or like ace something suited, right? So, I mean, this is a pretty safe flop for kings. What do you do? Like, how do you not get it in? Like, I don't know. It'd be pretty sick to do anything other than get it in.
This is a masterclass in time bank. Rui Ferrer is really, really, he's really taking in the time bank. I'm taking time bank notes over here.
I wonder what sizing he's gonna pick here. I mean, I don't know that I would go like too
Too
small.
small. It's a pretty wet board, man. He might even
Yeah,
like rip it or not rip it, but he might bet huge.
he's
That's pretty
going
small.
super small. I mean, I don't know. Like, do you just flat as kings again against a bet that small? Like, just because of the ICM, right? I mean, I know you can shove here, but it's just like the action. Yeah, like I get it. I mean, here's the thing. If you're Roy, you got to be thinking, listen, at this point, this guy on the button, like, could easily have kings or queens. Like, why? Like, I should just
This
rip
is
it in
sick.
here. I think aces should just rip it. It's less than 1 SPR. If you got it beat, you got it beat. I'm going to pay you off anyway. I can't give draws cheap cards. Like, you can't bet like 2 million here.
Yeah, in case he has ace king suited or something.
What if he has king queen suited or whatever? Like, I mean, he did just 3-bet you and just called a tiny 4-bet. What if he has 7-8 suited? I mean, who knows? Oh my God, he's checking.
This is a wild hand.
I mean, I think you check back kings because you're against like ace high or aces a bunch, you know? Wow.
Wow. This is a sick hand. This is a fun hand to be a part of, depending which side.
Check, cock and cote. You got this, bro. You got this. Avoid the cooler. He's letting you avoid the cooler. He's literally letting you save chips, and in pot you shouldn't. Oh my God, he bet. Why did you bet, dude? Oh,
is there any chance Rui just calls now though?
That
and
was
then
a
he
bad
gets
bet.
I mean, we can see the cards. It's so hard to
crazy. Rui, is he? I mean, I guess maybe he's just gonna call the way that. Okay, yeah, good.
No, this is
check jam.
Dude, now, I mean, he's gonna feel so sick.
How do you bet that? That was a terrible bet. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it straight out.
Is there a world though where he gets 6.7 and there's still 2 stacks shorter than him though and gets away now? And which is just the hand is it's chaotic. This is a chaotic hand. There was a lot of clicking going on, and they had honestly though aces to kings. What a cool there's a lot of chatter going on. I mean, this is not a.
I feel like he was giving cock and gote almost a way that he would save chips. Imagine he checks back and like a queen comes or a 3 flush. Like maybe Roy doesn't jam then or something. You know what I'm saying? Because like cock and cote's range is wider. Like this bet, man, I'm sorry. Just check it back. Like maybe you don't go broke. You bet this if the guy has aces. I mean, he just opened and 4-bet you under the gun for like a tiny sizing. Like what are you doing? You're trying to protect yourself with 1 to come against like ace 4 suited, right? Or ace king even. Like just take the pain, like fade the ace or maybe the queen on the river, you know?
Well, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of 10.
Listen, chat. I'm talking about the ranges. I'm not talking because I see the hand. I'm saying like king should check because the range of Rui is a bunch of like ace X suiteds and ace king and aces. That's really his range. And like, why would you bet with kings against that range? You're essentially way ahead or way behind. Like you're way ahead of ace high with 1 to come and you're way behind aces. Like you just check back and get to showdown with extreme ICM. Like this is an awful bet. And it's not because I see it as aces. And if you think that, then you don't understand poker. I'm sorry.
Rasty, I love it. I love it. I love it. We're live with chat and there's going to be a lot of different opinions. And of course there is a dynamic when you see whole cards, of course, that's just the nature of the game. But yeah, Rast, he's explaining this was just a wild hand. Board got super wet on the turn, but I will say this from a positive standpoint. Cock and Cote is pretty lucky to have chips. He could easily have gone out right there. Like he's supposed to go out.
I'll tell you what the cool thing about his bet is that if he decided that my opponent's only check raising here with the aces, I guess he got like a little protection for the size of it and saved it. But that's a pretty strong call to make. Like, because then you fold. And if you're ever wrong, it's like a disaster. And wow. I mean, he was right though. So, you know, I mean, he made the play and he was right. And he saved the 6 million and maybe gave his opponent a chance to fold. But like, what if his opponent has just like ace 5 of clubs or like ace king of clubs and checks, and then after the tiny bet just ships it in? Like I would not be confident with that play against like a person unless I'd played like tens of thousands of hands with them. You know what I mean? To like bet fold kings there. But I mean, when you're right, you're right. So he's still in. Like that was a wild hand.
Yeah. I'll say cheers to him.
I'm honest. I don't like the way Rui played that. Like for Rui not to get stacks, like he kind of misplayed that. He was getting way too fancy with his like flop tiny bet size and turn check raise. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't like that. It's like, he shouldn't be, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I don't know. Someone show me, maybe a solver is like, that's like a genius and I'm just retarded, but it seems kind of like, I don't really know. I don't know. It seems weird.
Yeah. It was a crazy hand. It was a crazy hand. It was crazy. And I'll tell you what, ace deuce, man, this is an ice. Look at this situation. Wow. Rast, ace queen off. I mean, the book is going to say fold. I think we look at the 3 million, 4 million, but at the same time, Oli is just like, does he just say F this? And the future of this hand, but man, you can't imagine he's going to call off with the 3 million, 4 million. It's also Oli Shemian, who's not afraid to go for the jugular. But wow, Rast, this is a crazy one. They're seeing some wild hands, boys and girls. We got it's a nice treat we're getting today.
Here's the thing. I actually kind of like in Roy's spot, just like jamming turn a bunch. Like when you have aces, like kings or queens probably call you. And when you have your like flush draw, like max pressure, I don't know, the check raise. I mean, anyway.
What about here? Let's talk. What about Ole?
I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, he goes out. It sucks. You only get 234K. But dude, if you win this pot, like your chances of winning the tournament go up a bunch. And you're probably a decent favorite against his range. I would be really curious what an ICM thing says. I'm not sure.
I would guess ICM says fold, but Ole is definitely one of the guys capable to click a call a little bit wider and understand the future game of that he is probably getting top 3 every time.
I mean, because Roy drops down to 30 and you're up to 20 and Roy can't just jam now. So like right now, Roy's going to just not with deuce 9 off, but like he's just going to be jamming a ton and you're handcuffed. And like, yeah, you have a few more chips than other people, but not much. Like look at the table. It's pretty even. Like that's your, like, yeah, there's a couple people who are short, but I'm saying there's a number of people who have like 10, right? So, and there's a big difference between 5th and like 2nd, right? And even 1st. So I think I call that, but like, I mean, just because ace queen is good, but even if an ICM thing says it's close, like, I don't know. Right? Just because the future game situation of like, okay, Roy can't just like open jam now with you behind him and like all those chips. He has to open, you get to 3-bet him some. So like, I think like if the ICM printed out something that said you can't even call ace king and it's like jacks plus, then I'd say, okay, maybe ace queen off is wrong, right? But if it's like the thing says, oh, ace king off is good, but maybe not ace queen off, I'd be like, okay, whatever. I'm still going with ace queen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, you could actually, like most ICM things, it's pretty easy to do. I don't have that tool anymore on my laptop, but I used to have one. You could just put in push fold spots, right?
Yeah.
I forget what that was called. Like
ICMizer.
Yeah, no, I thought it was the other one, like Hold'em Resources, I think.
Right? Yeah, there's that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's easy for the push fold because you just put in stacks, boom, and it'll auto calculate the push fold. And that was like a push fold spot, right? Assuming he's just, let's say he's pushing. Obviously, it's not that simple because like Roy actually probably does have some of his range he's min raising, and in a way that like almost might make it a better call, right? Because like, what if Roy does min raise like aces, kings? Maybe he jams ace king, but he min raises like aces, kings, queens, and jacks, and just like jams and a few really kind of junky hands he doesn't want to jam, and then just jams like all of his ace X hands and a bunch of suited broadways. But you're like ahead of that, and a bunch of like small and medium pairs. I don't know, like maybe you actually, maybe you're as high as like high 50s against that range. Like
and talk to me about Rui's shove with ace deuce off though. Is it just understanding if you're getting hands such as ace queen off, it's just gonna happen? What happens when the guy's kings?
A super print. It's a super print. I mean, yeah, like when you run into like jacks plus, okay. I mean, you can still hit an ace, but it's a super print if you're getting like ace queen to fold behind you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just what happens in these spots when you have a runaway chip lead. But yeah, that's why I think as Ole, I don't know. I probably call, but like whatever. I mean, the other thing too is there's financial considerations. Like, if it's worth a lot to you to like make a couple $100,000, then I mean, I'm in a different financial situation than maybe some of the people in this tournament, right? So, there's that kind of consideration too. I mean, you see the stuff in like the main event too, when like all of a sudden guys are like playing for the most money they've ever sniffed in their entire life. I'm not saying that's true for all Ole or anyone, you know, so everybody has their own financial situation to consider as well. That could be different. Like if your bankroll's only 500,000, like these pay jumps are super significant right now, you know, like if you're paying,
you could be a satellite winner. You could have satellited in for 500. I mean, who knows, right? Yeah. It's,
if your bankroll is 10 million, then, you know, it's pretty much just the EV. So you don't really care about the difference in the pay jumps. It's, you know, so like maybe, yeah, the ace queen off, it's like slightly higher EV to call, but like way more variance, and you're out now like some, whereas otherwise you're never out now, right? So for a person like, I don't know, lower bankroll this, I'm not saying anything about Ole. I'm just saying there's a bunch of reasons why you might not want to take it.
Yeah, we're aligned. And look at this. Aces here. And my man has been patient. He's got 10 bigs, Rast. Do you ever find, can he find a flat here?
I like the flat, but if you just want to pick it up some, you know, I mean, the thing here is like, to me, okay, the argument to flat, yes.
Wow.
I mean,
he's got aces back to back. I mean, this is absurd.
Let's put it this way. It's higher EV to flat. And the truth is like, maybe you go out slightly more now, but you earn more chips. And like, you're still one of the shortest stacks. Like there's still a good chance you go out in like 8th or 7th. So I think you flat there and you try to get the full double and give yourself, listen, if this guy wins, if you have 10 million chips, it might be pretty easy to come in 3rd or 2nd. Like a double is worth a lot to Cole Rusa there, right? You understand what I'm saying?
And we got like aces to 7s. Oh my goodness. The guy gets aces. He's been patient. And now it's an ace and the ace only, or it's going to be a huge double up for Pognan's 101. And what a hand, Rast. The guy gets aces back to back. And wow, 7 mil for the 7 is in it. 7-7. So what a absolute sick hand there that is. But sorry to interrupt you, Rast. I got to get you. That was a big moment.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like here's the thing. Doubling for that stack was worth a bunch because he's one of the shortest stacks. If you just rip it, yeah, sometimes you get called, but you get folds quite a bit. And like when you call, there's a much better chance you earn more chips. Yeah, you can also go out that way as well. But
does Rui just go nuts here? Does he get to ship it, or is he just gonna? Yeah. Wow. Ho. I mean, Papa. After here's
the thing is. I mean, there's only one stack shorter. It's like doubling is worth a bunch. This is close. King, queen suited is close here. I don't blame him for folding, but it's close. Here's the thing you got to realize, and what I'm trying to say is like, it's actually worth a bit for these stacks to double. Imagine having 13 million now. Think about how easy. Look at those payouts for 3rd and
He's going to have 14-5.
Dude, yeah, look at the payout for 3rd and 2nd. Like, think about how easy it is to get the 3rd and 2nd payout if you double here versus if you don't, right? It's worth quite a bit. Like, yes, like this isn't a super top heavy payout structure. So
yeah,
and in fact, the jumps start getting much big later.
He does make the call. Cheers to him, whatever the result, going for it. Oh my goodness, the sweat. Oh my goodness, the sweat is still there. It's still there. He does it, Rasty, after that flop. I mean, everyone, that was a huge sweat for the field. Rui would have been up to about 49 million. And now he's got like 14.
I don't hate it. Because look, listen, now he can just chill. Yeah, Rui's going to be aggressive. Listen, Roy doesn't hate it so much because now Pagan's going to chill behind him a bunch. And yeah, if you get aces or kings or queens, yeah, you like, maybe you double through Rui again. And otherwise, look, Pagan, great shape to get top 3 now, right? Compared to before. And like, that's a spot where Roy's shoving any 2, you know, like what is 100% versus king, queen suited? Let's look. I mean, this will dictate it. If you're getting as high as 60%, definitely. It's definitely a go. You're probably not 60% though. You're probably like 57. Oh my God, dude, it's a call. Do you want to know what the percentage is?
Yeah.
It's 63.4% against 100% of hands. It's a call. Yeah.
Wow.
63.4. That's big. Even ICM bullying. I mean, listen, that double is worth quite a bit for him. So yeah, I mean, looking it up, it's a call. Like I like that he called. It would have been a mistake to fold for sure. 63. I was like, oh, maybe it's high 50s. That's close. No, 63, definitely call. Nice play, Pagan. Pagan seems to be good. I'll say that. A lot of good plays. Like I like that ace queen double barrel. Pretty good shutdown, I think, with that combo. This guy or girl, you never know. He's got some skills.
And look at Ole hanging in there, getting the king queen, getting the 7-8. So well done from him. And no one has anything here. So Rui with that was a big swing to get called and not win. He flopped open-ended.
And this
became
is the spot, by the way,
yeah.
If he opens, like maybe you go to like, you could maybe go to like a little bigger than 2x.
Yeah.
That's a spot where I think he can open.
He could go big out. Like
I bet you
like
Adam was opening that spot in this, like all those stacks. Now that those stacks are all mid, like those stacks are gonna give a lot of respect to the open. They're all trying to survive. So I think you could just open super wide there and you probably go like 2.5x.
Yeah. Yeah. Sick stuff. There's been some crazy hands here, Rast. This has honestly seen some pretty intense things so far, and we're just getting started. Still 8-handed.
We're just all learning, guys. We're all learning. Jeff and I are just learning a bunch together, trying to, what if he, I mean, these guys are deep behind him. I don't know if he just wants to open jam.
Oh man. So
I think you can let it go. I think you almost want this guy to stay in the tournament too. Yeah. You don't want to bust him.
I'll tell you what, the Ole is going to be taking a look and getting a pretty fortuitous situation with no overs. And he's just thinking about shoving or calling. Probably, let's see, it's 14 million behind 7 million, just all in. No messing around. Not quite good enough to be trapping. Big favorite. And after that flop, 91.92%. Locked up on the turn. We are going to lose our friend who took a cold one with aces to sevens. And that is going to knock us down. But congrats for that score. 234,000 going your way. And we are down to 7. There he is right there. Super million, 229,000 in earnings, 340 total at GG. Very nicely done. Kola Rast, 1978, maybe born that year, just likes that year. And Ace King suited Klodnicki, he's getting some.
I'll tell you what, this is one of those things where you see like a guy, listen, Klodnicki is opening under the gun with the chip leader on his left. Sometimes I just let this one through, I think, if I'm Roy. I know you got the ace-4 suited. You just don't have to do it every time. Like, do we really think Klodnicki's opening light there? Like, he's probably opening the tightest 7 max under the gun range like you've ever seen, right? Like, it's just not the spot he's going to be opening a ton, probably. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, maybe it's one of those, hey, like Roy will be a little tighter because he's got the whole table behind him. I don't know. That one, I don't know that you have to 3-bet him with the ace-4 suited there.
Yeah, well, here he is. He's kind of running into it. You got a flat from Simon Matson, just so comfortable. And look at this. Kakanokote with the 6 million stack. A few people have gone out now, Rast, and he's got in the small blind ace queen versus the chip leader who's active. Now, concerning is the flat from Matson, although he does block aces. So I think it's just surfs up, baby. Here we go. Rui gets out of the way, and Jax actually is going to be calling, and they are going to have one ace gone, but still some sweat here, Rast. Not a guarantee. Kakanakote, who is, I didn't see that jack kind of hooked in the middle there. Any way for a chop? I mean, this just feels like it's just such big collision. No way, right?
No
It's
chop.
just no way.
Three side.
Three side,
Sides
GG.
here. I like that.
They do it all, man. GG's got the best software, best stuff going, biggest prize pools, best deal. GG, Simon Matson, man. Everyone's excited because that is a player that is out 1.374 millions. Kakarakote dodged some bullets there, Rast. Did ladder, getting aces to kings. So cheers to him for making some extra money after getting dealt the cold one. But Rast, he was in second with 16 million. Going out in seventh isn't going to feel so great, but still 300 G's, not a bad payday.
Wow, is Roy going to go for it here? We've seen so far he loves the suited wheel aces, and I mean he's picking on a short stack with opening the cutoff. Wouldn't blame him for going for it here. Actually, this seems like maybe a more likely spot to go for it than versus that UTG.
Yeah, but against maybe a middling stack, he's the shortest one.
Yeah, maybe you let the short stack survive. Good point.
Wow, this isn't going to work either. So this is all of a sudden though, still 70-30 roughly. He's got a chance, and look at that, just a 4-ball right on the flop. So he's got a fade now. Only the river, that turn peels off. We know the slow sweat on the river. Can he fade it and get there? It looks like he did. No paint. That is going to be a GG, just like that, Rast. That's also the other side of that aggressive line, is you can make your hand. It's not like it's 2%. He gets it, and that man shows a 4 for a little needle for a big payday. And Jao Vieira, man, look at this guy, 2 million. He's a crusher live, crush online, great guy, really nice. Been on my podcast as well. Got to give him a big score for 9.4 million. Well done, well played, sir. But we're down to 5, Rast. This thing looked like it would take a long time, and just starts moving. Chips are flying.
Oh, and kind of an interesting, I mean, there's the bottom clump there. The three of them are close, but Matson in a comfortable second. And I mean, when you look at these payouts, listen, there's
I'm going to use the restroom. I got to go. I'm going to use the restroom very quickly, and you're in the middle of your thing. Do your thing. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Okay. I mean, there's that's a 330K difference between second and first, but all things considered, that's a very healthy payout for second. I mean, you definitely see some tournament structures that give like way bigger jumps relative to the payouts between second and first. This is pretty flat. So that increases the ICM effects at this point, because it's just worth a lot more to make it into that third second podium spot. All right, feels like 10-9 off probably defends. Why not? Just against a button open. I mean, unless he's thinking of, This is a board that should favor Simon. Could even see some leads. His hand isn't the worst to do it with. He has a spade as well. Unfortunately for him, should he lead, and I actually kind of like a lead here if he finds it. It's pretty good. Hand doesn't have too much to do with checking, but you'd like to maybe bluff your opponent out of better hands. Plus, you got some ways this can work out for you. But Queen 8, a pretty good hand on this board. I mean, maybe you even raise it here. Just raise, get it in. It's 3 million in the pot. Take it down. Deny equity against some leads, such as the one Simon has. Never going to see it when that 10 rolls off. You pay off another bet or two. Takes the conservative route. Now, this is a card. If you're Simon, you're thinking barrel. You are thinking barrel here. Bet once, maybe even twice at this point. Beautiful hand to do it with. Got the gutter, got the spade, have pretty much the lowest possible hand you can have here with 10 high. Wow, going small. To me, that either implies he's trying to get a good price to realize his equity and he's done, or River barrel. And you know what? Jeff has been talking this Simon guy up. And personally, let's see if he finds the river 3 barrel here. I mean, yeah, pairing the board, but honestly, neither one's going to have a ton of full houses here. I guess Pagan can have more full houses than Simon, the way this played. Maybe. I mean, the small bet on the turn by Simon, though, does keep that range pretty wide. It definitely doesn't narrow it too much. It was such a small bet. So he can have both himself.
Ooh, Rast, you know what I love? You know, go to the restroom and know you can hold it down.
Simon
We're
took
back.
a cool line here. I love it. I was talking about him finding this lead on the flop. So he led the flop, small bet on the turn. And then I'm like, let's see if he goes for on the river. And I like it. You can't just check this down. And here we go. Will Pagan find a call? I mean, not comfy. That is for sure. I mean, I like this hand quite a bit. I'll tell you that much. What's my opinion? I mean, I haven't watched the guy play too much, but I mean, I think he played this hand great. I really like his line, even if he gets called. Sometimes you get called when you're bluffing. That's the way it goes. But this is a sick line. I'm like pretty impressed. I'm trying to remember other hands. I'm tired. I don't know, but this is a good line.
Yeah.
This is a good line. I
can tell you
approval.
I can tell you he's a great player. So that doesn't surprise me. And well done. 9-10 high. Nice hand to come back to. We can take a look here. 5 players remain, Rast. 511,000 locked up. Huge pay jumps coming up though. 150,000 plus here. And then it'll be about 200,000. So, I mean
very credible to have a straight with that line as well. I mean, you definitely do that with similar type hands that have gutters on the flop. So, very credible to have that. Or, I mean, he could have really had a bunch of hands for value there, like straight plus, all are reasonable, and he could have them. So,
and look at Ole.
Simon is one of the goats of online poker.
Yes, I told you, Simon Matson. He is. Yeah, he's like literally, he's in the top echelon of as good as they get.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I really like that line. So not surprised, I guess.
I can tell you these 4-5 players. Well, first of all, I'm impressed with Papagon 1-1. I think he could even find it here. Although, man, there's so much money on the line. It's just like this feels like a spot you could take versus Ole, but it's not easy, not an easy one to do. We do see that Ole is messing about here, but I mean, Rui Fiera, Chris Klodnicki, Ole Shemian, Simon Matson. This is class. And this guy right here, who I am unfamiliar with, has played a really nice final table thus far. Of course, got lucky 7s to aces to be in, but you got to have a little luck, Rast.
This 3-bet is like really small. I mean, like honestly, I almost think you could peel that as well. I mean, I wonder if he was considering that. Like, I don't think you need to rip it. I mean, it's just over 2x. And like, as you can see, like Ole can be light there, right? I mean, like King Jack off doesn't have to be doing that bad. I mean, it's kind of sick, but you're the shortest stack by quite a bit, right? I mean, yeah, Chris is also short, but like, I think it's like pretty close. I mean, actually, my least favorite play would be jam with King Jack off. I think I either call or fold. So, I mean, I'm not saying I hate folding or anything, but I feel like Pagan could have peeled there as well. You know, against a player who's like capable of being light, and clearly Ole is, right? I mean, King Jack could be doing okay. Doesn't have to be. So fold is fine, but I mean, I think it's just like the 3-bets. It's almost like a min raise. So at some point, you know, it's like in limit, you never fold to min raises, right? Pretty much. I mean, very like pre-flop. So.
Wow, and look at this. I mean, I was thinking about, I was saying, could we see our first 3-way flop? But he's not going to go for it. And Simon Matson, maybe just that's a nice recognition. Really thinking maybe just doesn't have a lot of flats there, right? Why would he invite in Rui in the big blind?
Listen. I think he can have traps there. Because listen, Pagan is 20 blinds. Like he can easily have like aces, 100%. Maybe even does it with kings. That said, having ace 10 suited is a pretty sweet hand to do it with his Rui, I think. So, right. I mean, you're blocking aces, which is probably Simon's most likely trap, right? Maybe he's a little bit more likely to 3-bet kings and flat aces some. But yeah, like Simon is definitely thinking like, hey.
Yeah, huge moment here. 5-handed, starting to move quick, and it will be 500,000 going to the top three. And Ole says, "Thank you for that walk." Queen 9 off, stack ready to raise.
Will Roy just keep it going? I mean, maybe why not, Roy? These guys are pretty handcuffed, man. 8 jack off. Yeah, I like it. I like this raise. I mean, Simon's probably folding the king 5 suited here. I mean, he's got a comfortable little lockdown on second. I don't know that I'd want to tango with the chip leader at this point, right? I mean, let a couple more guys go out, earn a couple $100,000. Yeah, like you chip down some. Yeah, maybe if you get ace king or whatever, some super good hand, you play back, but I don't think you need to play back unnecessarily. Wow.
Look at this. Look at this. Just when Klodnicki, you might think, oh, he's been playing fairly straightforward and passive, just finds himself a 3-bet here. And is there a world? I mean, just not a world, right? How could you not give that? It's like Orphan, remember in the final table of the main event at Triton, just the guy like made some great plays, got queens till even lay down a hand. And Chris, man, I can tell you, there's no question
Chris
that he's got tricks. Yeah.
Okay, Chris Klodnicki. Yeah,
Respect.
he saw it. We're like, yeah, the chip leader's going to open the spot super wide. So let's go after him with queen 9 off. I like it. Okay, Chris Klodnicki. There's some players at this table.
Yeah.
There's some players at this table, man.
I'm telling you, man, I saw the lineup on the sheet. I was like, wow, this is going to be a fun one. And we've seen some special hands. We have seen some special hands.
Simon bladed, and one of the rare instances he would love to get Roy messing with him in position on the button. Probably gonna sad to see him not get 3-bet there. I mean, you also have to think, listen, Ole has to think like Simon is opening tight here. Simon is number 2 in chips, and definitely, I mean, I don't listen. Here's the thing you got to think. This is the one spot on the table where Simon is out of position to Roy. I know he has kings, but like I know whatever, you're an ace blocker and this, but I'd almost rather just like fold this sometimes as Ole, against like a really tight range. Like I feel like Simon's opening range here, all things considered, is going to be like kind of crazy tight. Like if I'm Simon, I am thinking I am opening so damn tight in that spot. Like I'm folding all kinds of shit. Like I'm probably folding like ace 10 off and like king 10 off, I'm folding like 5s, I'm folding so tight in that spot. It's just the one spot. And Roy, it's just like every time he gets a suited ace, he's 3-betting you. It's just like, you're going to get messed with so often, I don't know. That's why I kind of feel like listen, I get why Ole 3-bet there, but I feel like it's like he's not adjusting for the fact that Simon's going to be super tight there. And I'm like very confident, especially if Simon's like a super sick online legend, like he's going to be tight there. That's just, Roy's been an active chip leader, and that's the one spot you're out of position. Like even if Roy doesn't 3-bet you, like how about he just flats you in position a bunch, right?
Right.
Anyway.
I love it. It's spot on. And as we saw, what was at large here, we are going to have a 3-way pot, 5-6 off, flops the gut shot, 2 overs to the 4, and 8's going to keep continuing, but right into Rui's top pair. So he's going to comfortably call. Simon's thinking, is it plausible to ever get in here? Look at this, is what, 6 million in there, just two Too dicey. Not a spot to check raise.
No, I don't think, no, check raise.
No, not,
I
no,
think it's
no.
more
It's
like,
not.
it's more
It's a
like, are
folder,
you
maybe
getting,
call.
are you getting the implied, like he was getting like 5-1 direct, but then you have to win at least another what's in the pot. And I think he just decided the math isn't worth it. You know, like how often am I hitting and then winning another 5 million from the pot? Yeah, I mean, it's probably kind of close, but then listen, he's in a spot where it's super awesome saving chips, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, because now look at these guys, these other 3 stacks are getting pretty short. He can maybe not take these like kind of high variance, like very low likelihood gamble spot. Like that's a spot where he's just losing that 1.2 like 90% of the time, right? When he misses. And then the other, 10% of the time he wins a bunch of chips. But yeah. Yeah. More precise play from him.
Very nice. We see Kakan Kote did ladder up after getting aces, delta kings, first versus second, but didn't go broke. Definitely one of the hands of the day. And here, King's going to go and take it. It was an open and a four. I think we saw 4 million, basically just all in here. So queen 10 off. I think we saw that. We saw that he raised it, but it looks like a reset. Yeah, there it is. 4.5 million Rast.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be over. Let's move on to the next hand. Roy took a shot, got 3-bet all in essentially, and doesn't have the hand to go with. Yeah, I mean, listen, Simon and Chris have played very well. I mean, they've probably been the 2 guys, I would say, and maybe in that order. Just like, I mean, Chris had that pretty good fold earlier with the 8s. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, it's like an amazing fold, but he didn't put it in, and it was a good fold. It's not like he had like the king of hearts or something insane. I mean, he's bluff catching and it's an overbet, but didn't find that call to go out of the tournament in 8th or 9th or whatever. Among some other really.
Yeah, Oli Shemian going for that aggressive ace-4. He still is in.
Wait, hold on. Wait, watch this hand. This is it. This is like right on the edge of like, okay, like I'm telling you, if it was much worse than king queen off, I don't think he plays it. Like I said king jack. I said king 10, right? So like king queen, I think he plays, but like I'm telling you, this is like it's gonna be tight here. Like we didn't just see the jack 10 offsuit open here. Okay. Like he has no reason to want to play hands in that spot. Like honestly, in his spot in the tournament right now, he's not like really, oh, hey, like I really need to accumulate chips. Like he just kind of wants these guys to go out and get heads up. I mean, yeah, getting chips is obviously great, but I mean, in the spot where the one guy who can really hurt him and mess with him is in position on him, anyway. Wow, just jam. Or is the 16 blinds too much? Do we limp? Do we raise?
Yeah, this is
going with the raise and fold to the jam.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of this. This is an effective play. Chris Klodnicki, 6-5 off.
I mean, I would guess at 15 blinds. Oh my goodness, Klodnicki's a bit of a sicko. He's a bit of a sicko. His timing is good. I mean, he's had some good timing on these. Like, here's the thing: is like this is a mix that probably prefers limping, And Mattson's probably saying, hey, I can bully Chris. And like Chris has just been spot on at basically finding spots where he's probably assuming his opponent is like a bit wider than they normally would be.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Yo, Rasty, people are playing today. People are playing poker out here today. This is, I mean, that's upstairs, man. And that's a great find with the 5-6, but for Simon to take that is really something.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's just like
that's above
I feel safer.
That's what we call that. We call that above the rim. Okay.
I feel safer out here.
Right there.
I feel safe in the booth right here. Woo!
I will say this, man. I think like Simon plays awesome. So this guy, I've loved his play so far. I mean, Jesus. I feel like I'm trying to even think if there's like one decision that I don't think I liked. I mean, I love that 9-10 offsuit hand. I mean, that was a baller 3-street bluff. And I was sitting there on the flop going like, yeah, I love leading this. And he just did it. And I'm like, it's such a good spot where you're going to 3-barrel a bunch. And he just did it. It's sick. I'm just, wow. I'm picking my man. Cause like, listen, I think he plays way sharper than Roy. I've seen a few things with Roy. I didn't really like how he played the aces, a few other things, whatever. I'm picking.
We saw the king queen suited call off. Very different situation. It's a big pay jump here and a weak ace 4. So 7-8 suited is going to get through, and Claude Nicky is on a shorter stack, and we see the difference between 5th and 4th for 152,000 roughly. So Rui's definitely aggressive. He finds spots and he's taking good spots. I do agree on the aces hand.
Also, ace 4, I just looked it up, 57.3% versus 100% of hands, as opposed to king queen suited 63.4. So I'm not, so ace 4 performs much worse than king queen suited for what it's worth. So that also a factor. Anyway, no, please continue. Just wanted to touch on that.
This has honestly been one of the more fun final tables I've commentated, learning a lot from some of the best in the game. I hope you're taking teachable moments. I'm excited. Definitely some cool plays going on today. Been fun to watch so far. We will be having much more. This is Super Millions every Tuesday, and the king 6 suited gonna rip it in. I mean, also a bit aggressive, Rast, with the 7 million and the 5 million stack.
Yeah,
just shipping in.
Just like 20-something blinds right there.
I'd be curious what Claude Nicky, what's he got? He has 10 blinds. Ace jack off, 7's gonna commit.
I'm pretty sure Chris is gonna. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see a flip here. I mean, but Chris also, this is like the one guy he would love to double through as well, right? Yeah.
He knows it's a big one. He's using it just one time to denegs a moat. We're going to see a classic. Ace jack to 7s. This is an important pot in the tournament, and a jack does arrive. There's some heart backdoor. Okay, Rast, you know it. The heart sweat. This is a big pot. And it is the running hearts with the ace. I mean, that is a spice run out. And Chris Klodnicki played an excellent game, put in some bluffs, got ultimately re-raised there. There he is, man. Super Millions winnings, 400K, about 10% of his total GGPoker winnings, 4 million. Unreal.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
he
well played, brother.
He played well.
Really good
and
player.
He just got out bossed by Simon on that. That was
wow. Final 4, Rast. Don't look now. 663. You've got a 200K, about 196, 197K pay jump coming up here.
I mean, 20 blind, like probably just going to rip it. Or sorry, more like 23 blinds. I mean, actually, this is a hand that can play for a 3-bet as well. Like you can just make it like 3. Because you can do this with like, again, with like king 3 off. So ace queen suited is a nice hand to do it. Actually, I think I kind of like making it like 3 here. But yeah, this is fine too. It sort of like isn't a big deal. But I think like it looks like he's getting close to 25 blinds. And I think once you get to 25 blinds, it's nice to have the 3-bet sizing, right? So you can do it with like that, like the king 3 off and whatever. So ace queen suited is getting nice enough. I mean, ace queen off, you definitely rip, right? Ace queen suited, hello, bit more playability. got to balance, got to find enough hands to balance with those steals. So
Yeah, Jack 7 suited, going to kick it up on the puck. Jack Queen off. I mean, solid stuff here. I mean, this guy's got some moves. These guys aren't afraid. In order to live, you must be willing to die. And this man has shown the willingness to play at the chip leader. And Jack 7 suited here.
Jack 7 suited could have also just ripped the button. Like it's not a hand that plays like that bad against the all in. I feel like you could rip the button. I mean, listen, especially if you're Roy, and at this point I'd be thinking, hey, when I open, these guys 3-bet me quite a bit. Like maybe I just rip it, you know? But oh my God, he peeled. What a sicko.
Sick puppy. Sick puppy.
What a sick puppy. I mean, he's getting it all in on this. He flopped a flush draw. What else are you gonna do? When you peel the Jack 7 suited for like 25 blind stacks for 3-bets, like what else are you looking for? Yeah, would have been curious to see Jack Queen like, I mean, he's ripping. I mean, I guess Jack Queen can't call it off, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder though, is there a scenario where he thinks this player may shut down if he just peels here? It's just too good?
Listen, oh my God, he got his like fucking gin card. But I'll tell you what, it's just like, dude, I would rip it there. Why call and give like ace queen, ace jack, ace 10 like chances to beat you? Like, is ace 10 calling you if you rip? Like,
this is pretty. This is sick though, Rast, because this is actually the guy has a chance to win, and he's got the card to bluff, and he is going to ship it in and get called. And actually, I mean, this is a huge pot. He's still got equity, not a lot, but there is card. Oh
my goodness!
MG, what is happening right now? This hand is so wild. That is honestly, I mean, that was for there's a 3-way lead tie, and Oli is in 4th. I mean, Rast, did you see that run out? Are you watching this? Is anyone else seeing this? This is honestly, like, I've seen a lot of poker. This is big money, big runouts. People are firing. People are playing. These runouts are cooperating for the drama. Unreal. This guy, Rast, with 8 left hit a 7 versus aces. That could be a $1.2 million 4-to-1. This is wild.
Wow. Big sizing here with the deuce 8 suited. I mean, like over 80%. Oh, wow. I mean, like, you don't 85% 8 deuce here to catch the 9 of spades and give up, do you? Doesn't really seem like that's what happens. So love to get a 7 or a 5 to fold, but a 10's not going anywhere. I mean, listen, my horse is Simon. Obviously, I mean, the guy has been playing great, and he's probably about to win a big pot here. But I mean, I'm picking Simon, man.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot. It is blind on blind.
Yeah, and Simon, these blind on blind spots. These blind on blind spots can be tricky. The ranges are so wide. But I mean, I just don't see him folding here. It would be very tight to fold a 10. Wow, he laid it down. Interesting. I mean, wow.
Super interesting stuff.
Is it right to fold a 10? Listen, I'll tell you what, Simon has played so good that he's one of those guys that, man, if he does it, like I'm going to consider that maybe it's the right play. So, you know, I don't want to make a call on it, but like it seems really tight to fold a 10 for 2 barrels in that spot. But like maybe, yeah, maybe it's right. Who knows? I mean, I normally wouldn't do it, but
Yeah, sick.
Giving Ole some credit there for maybe not having a ton of two barrels. And let's actually put it this way. Let's give Ole some credit for taking a kind of a weird line, like 85% potting the 8 deuce, so that he like gets to have, you know, whatever. I mean, maybe he can have like 8 jack or like 8 queen there too, and he does the same thing, but so that he gets to have barrels for like large size on the 9. Maybe Simon just feels like on the 9, Ole is under bluffing some, so he can
this flop.
pair, right? So he can fold top pair, because folding top pair is kind of insane on the turn. So it's like super interesting. But anyway, oh wow, oh poor Simon, my guy, my pick. This is a pot that might not work out well for my pick. Jeff, they want you to pick a horse. Who's your horse?
Oh yeah, I Rast. I've been doing this every stream, and I kind of just lost track of it today. But yeah, I mean, I know we did this in Cyprus for Triton as well. We did pick a horse and do a bet last longer. I mean, it's kind of the tournament's developed at this point, so I don't know if we can really do it. I mean, it's kind of be tough, but I guess.
Well, I mean, Simon gets off cheap on the turn right here. He gets to only call like third pot, so happy. I mean, maybe Roy will pick a super small sizing again and let Simon off cheap. I mean, I haven't been crazy about Roy's sizing by and large on this final table. So Roy is not gonna, yeah. I mean, like, he's winning the stone minimum on this, man. Like,
Rasty, check your WhatsApp as well.
I mean, like, listen, Simon is going to consider raising. Maybe he does, but yeah, I love that he didn't raise, dude. I love it against Roy, who, like, Roy has been doing goofy small sizings a bunch, did it with aces. Yeah. And like, don't raise that guy. I mean, Roy just winning. He won so much less chips there by these sizings he picked. Like, I didn't like the aces hand either. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not picking Roy. That guy has a lot of work to do on some things. But he's
an elite player for sure. But he's he's a crusher. He's a crusher. Almost one of those guys in the unicorn category where you got to almost wonder, like, stuff he's doing might be so, like, it might be like cutting edge. But again, all three. I think the three guys I mentioned that are still left: Simon, Ole, and Roy, definitely three of the more established guys that have just been around and just have powerful results. Hard to argue with any plays they make. So,
okay, well, yeah, I mean, I don't know about the aces hand either, but yeah, maybe he's right. But I mean, even playing it, yeah. Like, I mean, he basically played it in a way that let his opponent fold kings, which is like insane. Like, that should just never happen. But
anyone got any Albania tips while we're here? I'm going to Albania tomorrow, so if anyone's ever been, I don't think that's a common destination, but happy to take some tips. I'm going there, going to see the Europa Conference League final with Roma versus Feyenoord, root for Roma. But anyway, yeah, any Albanians out there or know of Albania, please let me know. And in the meantime, Rast, we are going to sweat it down.
That's what we're flying tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Didn't sleep. We didn't get much sleep last night. It was kind of a wild night with the cash game that broke out. It was up late. I was sweating. Rusty was playing a big one, and tomorrow we're gonna be waking up early and going out there. But right now, Ole with a nice candidate to rip it in, and he is the shortest. Pretty sure he's gonna fist pump the king queen in there, but still never fun, right? It's just kind of like, it could be in bad shape, but I think this is that's high up there, Rast, with the button versus that 3-bet there. Flat call. Okay.
Wow. And this is a board that Simon might end up winning. I mean, technically it's a board that favors Ole's range, but I mean, it drastically favors Simon's hand. And like, how does he play it? I'm curious. I mean, like his hand would love to just go all in right now and get ace and king highs to fold, right? He has a ton of equity. Yeah. Like this hand exploitatively loves this play. So cheers. I mean, that felt like what I would do, even though like technically it's slightly better for Ole's range. I mean, you know.
Brian, check your what's up.
Yeah.
Guys, we have got aces again here at the final table. One of the aces didn't fare so well, and that actually spun into Papagan 1-1. Pagan 1-1, spinning up into the mix. But yeah, we are appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for the kind words. If you guys can hit that thumbs up, if you're enjoying the stream, if you're enjoying Brian, myself, if you're enjoying the graphics, the players, the prize pool, anything, leave your thumbprint on this historic millions, 10 million in the prize pool, 10K buy-in, pretty big one. Appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much. Having a blast with you and watching some cool plays and some wild runouts. This has really been a pretty crazy final table.
Yeah, it's been a fun one. I've actually enjoyed this more than I thought I would. So, I mean, Roy's been a very fun chip leader who's kept the pressure on, and actually had to deal with some guys who have played back at him quite a bit. And, you know, listen, by and large, he's played very well. So I'm whatever. I'm tired and I'm being cranky about like one or two like bet sizing spots. So whatever. I mess up hands all the time. So who am I to talk? Everybody, you know, maybe he was right, maybe not. I really wonder about the aces hand, but that said, I mean, he's played great. All these guys who are left have played well. I mean, I personally have really liked the way Simon's played, probably the most, but you know, a lot of great play at this table. I mean, there's been a ton of fun hands. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Jeff?
It's one of the more enjoyable, exciting final tables that I've seen in a long time, and also some of the best in the world for a fact. Like these guys really are. So no, it's always, I always enjoy it. I always love trying to predict what they're going to do, get surprised a fair amount, right? And spots. And I mean, it's even with the whole cards up, it's a little bit of a bias on spots. So it's just like, you know, seeing these guys that don't see the cards, obviously, to play and make so many great plays. Yeah, it's refreshing. It's just to show how great this game is.
As a guy spending a ton of time in Brazil, I'll be very happy if Roy wins. Maybe, who knows, one day in Brazil, I'll run into him. So, yeah. Vamos Brazil. Chama.
Vamos, gente. Boa noite. There's got to be some Brazilians out there.
One, Jeff? Let me teach you this one. Chama. Right. You know that? That's like let's go.
That's not vamos. It's different.
A little bit, but Shama's like when you're like, you know, like this, like
you're feeling it. You're at Carnival. Okay.
Like we roll.
Rast and I are both married to Brazilians, so we know we got love for Brazil. Another Brazilian made the final table today, I believe, or was rocking the Brazilian flag. Portuguese, I don't know if actually officially Brazilian, but some great players out here. And we are going to see Ole staying alive, man. It's hard for me to bet against Ole Shemian. Cool name, cool guy, great player. But
see, look, the guys in the chat. Look, Vinicius, that's a Brazilian right there. Vinicius Alvarez. He knows Chama. Listen, you know who I learned that word from? Michel Pereira, the UFC fighter who actually just won his last fight, and he's ranked now in the welterweight division. I learned it from him in Vegas. Chama. He loves that phrase. he's a goofball. All right,
love it. Guys, I want to apologize for my microphone as well, so I could show you the room. I went out of my way. I'm on the road, so I don't have my normal setup, but I literally rented a conference room. It's beautiful, but there's an echo a bit, so I apologize for that. And you know, I saw a couple comments in the chat. Brian and I are on the road. We were both in Madrid. We've been doing commentary all week at Triton, some of the biggest buy-ins in the world, short deck and Nolan Holden. And now we got the Super Millions for this absolutely star-studded field with a huge prize pool. But we are on the road, rogue. And I got a nice mic. I got the travel, got a nice mic here, and we got the setup. But the echo's just not cooperating. So I apologize.
Everybody makes these plays all the time now. The King 5, like he's just gonna make it like 3 points. He's gonna make it like 4 million. Listen, everybody does it every time. People don't even mix with this shit anymore. They just do it every time. I mean, sevens, you just can't fold the sevens.
Yeah, we've seen Simon like to play post flop. This feels like a stuff. stuff enchilada here with the
Either
sevens.
way,
It's kind of
though,
a
I mean,
really,
here's the thing. Against this sizing, if you're putting your opponent on his bluffs are the hands like this, like you're crushing them, and you need to be very scared of ace and king, you know? Yeah, I actually kind of like this a little bit. The flat, it's like now that the ranges are more polarized, but the weaker side of the range, you get a lot. This is actually kind of a tricky flop to play against that polarized like bluff range, but you definitely can't fold here. That's for sure. And not for this size. This
yeah,
could be a
but
fun, this could be a fun pot, but actually probably because the 5 king has some showdown, it probably won't be like too fun. If you had like king 3, it could be really fun, but
yeah, Simon's been, the time bank's getting a little bit light here now, and seven's going to stick on. Look at this. Stack to pot ratio, SPR. Like to talk about that term. You can see Simon stack 17 million, 15 million in the pot. So getting there. I mean, Pagan 1 is guaranteed 663,000, was out the door, eight sevens to aces. I heard a thing that on GGPoker that we had talk about sevens are so hot. I mean, maybe it's a part of that, just a little back in his mind, just hang in there. Currently in the lead, in position. Does he ever bet to deny equity and set the price for the river? Does he ever bet small here? He
I
doesn't.
love this. I love this check. I love this check though, because listen, there's going to be a lot of big little hands, right? Like, what if Pagini's checking ace 10, he's not folding, but well, all these hands like deuce 3, 4, 5, king, whatever, right? I mean, like, you don't really need to bet against those hands too much. Yeah, I like it. Just get to showdown. I mean, your opponent might show down the 4 and the 5 if he has it a bunch. If he has king, queen, maybe he's giving up. This is kind of a well played hand by all parties. I mean, Pagini played this hand fine as well. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to bluff with king 5 here, I think.
And kings, see the limp? Kings feeling pretty nice with that. A lot of some big pairs going around here. It does go for just under 3x. And queen 4 suited has options. Only not one. And this is a grim looking flop for queen 4 suited.
Yeah, I mean, Ole in pretty good shape to win some chips here.
Yeah, so 5 outs 2 times, about a 4-1 favorite currently, and he is in position driving, setting the price. Goes for a quarter pot size on the flop. Jack pairs, 5.4 million, 2-1 SPR for Ole. And go for the lead, which we see this a lot sometimes when the turn card pairs player opposition leads. Gets to have, figuring maybe has more Jack X, and also trying to just see what's happening here. River 6. Ole doesn't have a club in his hand, but kind of really more about the Jack. Is he be? I mean, it still feel pretty safe if you have kings, although I mean it's intense, right? You're either kind of way good or way bad against the Jack.
Man, I wonder how often you want to be leading the queen 4 on the turn, though, when the Jack pairs. I mean, if he checks here, I mean, if you're Ole, you got to feel pretty good about your hand being good, and maybe even like sizing up a bet to try to get paid by a queen, right? Like, I don't know what I think about this line. It could cost him a healthy river bet. It will be hard to fold a queen on the river. Yeah. And kings is like a perfect hand because you're blocking the king 10 and the king 9, and you're unblocking the queen. So I think you go for a nice size here, and you just try to get paid by queens and jacks, you know, like 6 mil or something, right? You can have some bluffs. Easily. Yeah, pot, even better. I love it, Ole. All in.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're Pagan, you don't have a king, you don't have a 10, you don't have a club. Definitely a candidate.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough fold. This is a tough fold. Like, I mean, all kinds of bluffs you can give your opponent. All the big straight draws missed, clubs didn't get
Yeah.
there. Your four is like a pretty good, four of diamonds.
I think he's going to ultimately call because also I think the guy's been on quite a ride. He's in Final Four. Oli Shemian is just it's so capable. I just feel like he's going to all those other reasons. Doesn't have any clubs, any king 10. No, I just think he could definitely talk himself into it. But he's made some great decisions, and this is a tough spot. This is a very tough spot.
He probably calls. Like, call feels like it's the standard play. My guess is solver's call here, especially with the four of diamonds being preferred to other hands like queen 10 or whatever, right? So like, wow. I mean, it's a strong fold, and like he was right. So it's strong because like my guess is you're kind of supposed to call that hand a bunch, and he folded and he was right. I mean, maybe Ole got who knows, would bet who knows, man. I don't even want to speculate. It was just a good fold. I mean,
Yeah, really exciting to watch.
When you're right, you're right, right? What can you say about it?
All right, so ace queen suited starts with the limp. Jack 10 suited, one of those kind of premium, nice to check back flops. And look at this, doesn't bite on the flop and does get a spicy turn, picks up enough flush draw, ace queen, still top pair, top kicker, and goes for a big sizing. And this to me, we talked about this earlier this week, Rast. This is the best. The players just know board textures and sizings. Like this just immediately is like, all right, you know what? I have top pair, top kicker, even with enough flush, but I'm going to go big here. There's straight draws. This can interact well with the jack getting, hands that he checks back pre-flop. What does his check back range look like pre-flop?
I mean, he's going to have a ton of suited hands in the check back range at these kind of stack depths. You don't want to like raise, so a lot of suited hands, middling strength hands. The raise range is more polar to like your strong stuff and some like random weak stuff mixed in.
So interesting that Ole has the hearts that miss, but he also has top pair, top kicker. So when he has the hearts miss, and he actually has value with it. It's a rare spot, and he goes for basically a pot-sized bet on the river. And if you're Simon, the guy just seems to make all the right choices. You can't blame him if he, as played, checks back pre, hits the jack on the turn and a check flop, calls a bet, and then the river. I mean, could you fault him for calling here? I don't think so.
No, but he might find a fold. Like, that three of diamonds is a card that he's probably not going to like very much. He probably thinks that actually is a number of improvements. So I think it's a card that, yeah, I mean, listen, Ole's shown that he's tricky enough to find bluffs on a lot of runouts. So, it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, Ole's never like not gonna have enough bluffs on that one. Whereas like maybe other population would. Tough spot. I mean, the cool thing is these guys have actually like by and large like navigated a lot of these like turn and river, especially river spots, like pretty well. Like they've been very accurate. At least listen, I don't know about in terms of what the solver would say. I'm not here, I'm not running these spots in a solver. But they've been very accurate just based on the like folding when their opponent has it in game, right? It's pretty sick.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's been the decision making has been spot on today. There's been some absolutely superb play. I'm very impressed, but not surprised. I'll say that.
Yeah, like a bunch of spots where I'd basically be like, oh, hey, if the guy called here as a commentator, I'm kind of like, wow, I mean, like seems totally fine, right? Like the queen 4, definitely that seemed totally fine. I'll say that. But then, even this last one, like the jack 10, seemed okay, right? So
does he ever find a check back here? Is that just too obvious because he's got a range advantage? Just go 20%, 25% pot, super small, even less. Yeah, what's that? 3 to 20%? Yeah.
And maybe that's a hand that does, right? You know, the one thing I will say is, and this is like a little bit of a difference, just to say, like, to walk it back is, listen, we've seen Ole in some spots that make sense go for big sizings, and his opponents have found folds, even with like, I mean, like, listen, he value bet kings for pot on the river all in, and his opponent folded a queen, right? It's pretty hard to get called if your opponent's folding like close to the next worst hand than yours. And so, like, I mean, these are spots that, like, who knows? I'm not saying Roy in the same spot wouldn't bet big himself, right? I'm sure he's varying his bet sizing, but just to talk about bet sizing, like, Roy's taking a bunch of like smaller bet sizing in spots and whatever. And like, you know, if Ole takes smaller bet sizing and on like both of those pots, he almost certainly gets paid by the hands he was up against, right? So the greedy bet sizing, like, when you have it, like, sometimes you win more, but sometimes you win less because your opponent folds a hand that they are almost certainly calling to like smaller bet size, where on at least like the queen, they probably think they're chopping with value some, at least with based on the kicker, you know, if not winning, getting a better price. I don't know, just
Right. Okay, so 2 pair. Gonna go ahead and pump up the bet here. He's got the best hand. Ace 10. Gonna fold. Doesn't make a meal of it. Okay. So, I mean, the stacks are the 3 and 4 are pretty tight, and 1 and 2, I mean, little lead. Rui's got a lead.
Yeah, he's off to a little bit of a lead here, certainly.
All right. Ace 3 gonna happily show down on that board. Does pick it up. Probably wasn't going anywhere as played for most of that hand. And there are rockets again, getting dispersed. 8-3 suited gives it up. See if he has a trap here. Does he just go balance limp? Maybe Ole. Hope that Ole starts mucking about. Nope, just gonna go 3x.
Well, this is going to be play best against Ole's hand because Ole probably checks back the king six suit. So, but now Ole's going to call. So now we're getting a much bigger pot. But Shama. Okay, guys, hold on. I'm going to order some room service, Jeff. Steer for a little bit. All right.
I got it. I got it. Well, we are in a, it's a bit of a, when you get called by the 3x here, you have aces, you have the ace of hearts, obviously comfortable, but this is a bit of a, wet board. I mean, this is a bit scary, although you got to feel pretty good. It's going to be hard to get multiple streets though. For a big guy, let's see what he comes with here. If he is going to go for a bet, goes for the big bet. And Oleg gets rid of it. All right, we are up. Blinds are up to 700,000. And Ole Shemi with the deuce four offer. Simon, a player I'm sure he respects so much. Let's see if he just going to go with a muck on some of the bottom percent hands. Does decide that that is not one he wants to tango with. 10, 3, 4, 5, deuce 3. Not much going here. And Simon against the chip leader as well. Let's see. Ole got the 4-5 off on the button. Yeah, not the time to be splashing around. So Rast gets a little bit of room service. We welcome you in. Thank you guys so much for watching. It has been a extremely eventful final table. A lot of crazy runouts, big equity swings, flips, 4-1s that got there. We've had a little bit of everything. Also some amazing play mixed in there. See what happens here. Both players with the 4-7 off in the blinds. King 8, Simon knows what to do with the King 8. It's going to pump it up. Lots to play for here. See the payouts at your lower right there. 1.447 million up top. Just crazy. And I don't believe the deal option available as standard for Super Millions. So a lot going on here. Sevens, Jack, Queen suited, likely to be met with a flat. The 1 and 2 stacks. We saw similar Rui flat Jack, Queen suited earlier. Of course, could start putting some pressure on here with the chip lead, but not with this hand. Just too playable. Too connected, too nice, going to see a flop, and we go heads up. Sevens in the lead on the 10-10-3 rainbow flop action on Simon. Could see a, yeah, we got a situation. We got a flat, we got a raise, we got Simon probably leading small, checking as well makes sense either way. He does decide to check 10-10-3. They're 1 and 2 in chips, Rast. So we see a check and a check back with Jack Queen.
Yeah, Jack Queen there. Blocking some combos of Queen 10 and Queen Jack suited, quite a few actually. Could be a potential hand to start barreling, but Roy passes, which is fine. Just yeah, and he just gives it up. Definitely a hand that could have started bluffing. It's one of the best 10-10 blocker if you really just wanted to go nuts, but I mean that's kind of a minority play. Definitely don't need to do that. Wow, big blinds up to 700,000.
Yeah. It's moving. It is moving. King deuce off. We've seen some of this big little sort of isolating or squeezing. Does pop it up 2.4. This, I can tell you one thing. These two players know their small blind, big blind ranges. That is I can assure you.
Yeah, Ole here. What's he gonna do? Fold, call, raise, call.
And wow. If you're Ole, not the flop you're looking for, and if you're Simon, you do pair that deuce. So hard to make a pair. You got the key spade over the queen. This feels like one you might want to just start trying to take it down. But let's see. I mean, also you see sometimes showdown value. This is sort of a very vulnerable deuce, and I think he is going to go with the bet. We see the bet
value like that. Yeah. Like that betting like quarter pot there. I mean, like Ole is like getting almost like direct odds to call to hit a 5 or a jack against a pair of deuces. So, I mean,
look at this fireworks show we got here.
A lot is accomplished there by that bet. Nice little bet size, and yeah, this is just destiny all in. Who's gonna win?
Does he go for the small 3-bet again? We saw the Queen 10 off earlier, maybe on stream. We saw the Queen 10 3-bet. He does it again, Rast. He goes for a smallish 3-bet off of this shorter stack, 20 blinds.
I've never met Paganini.
Oh wow, nines. Rast. My attention was warped into this situation, and nines just a quick bin, and we are going to see a collision here. This is going in. We are going to see another massive queens to ace king flop at a Super Millions. Wow. It's snapped off here. We're off to the races. Huge pot for the tournament. 29 million at stake, and so far so good for Ole.
Nine's hit a 9. I mean, amazing fold
to the river. Can Ole does it? Wow. Rui would have got ruined right there. And Papagan, guys, good news, bad news. No one's out. The people, though, I can tell you are not. I mean, you got to be concerned. Ole is a real threat. And look at that. Ole is letting out the emojis. He's putting it in there. He's doing the dance. He knows that is a big pot right there, Rast.
Dude, hold on. Let's like take a second and say like good fold, Roy. Pocket nines got out of the way. Wow, that would have been pretty bad news bears for him had he gotten that in. What were their effective stacks? Do you remember? I mean, I guess it's about half
it
of
was
what
20.
Ole has. So they had like
It was 20 blinds for Ole to start the hand.
Like 20. I mean, damn, dude. 20 blinds. That seems like a pretty tight nines fold for like 20 blinds. Wow. Like pretty strong fold there in the big blind by Roy. And when you're right, huh?
Yeah. Wow. This is exciting. I am on fumes, Rast. I am on absolute fumes, and I'm amped up about this. And guess what, Ole? You played the queens so majestically. You got him in, you held him, and now you got him again. And does he go for the limp, or is this just a different with the 3.7 million stack? And Simon knows, but they both know. Does Simon just take this again?
He's checking back.
The Jack 4 suited. Yeah,
100%. It's not the hand. You want to just see the 3 suited.
No, for sure. I'm just wondering with the 3.7, but really always deep. They're not in a spot where he just gets to go crazy.
I mean, let me tell you, for 25 blinds, nines is supposed to get it in versus cutoff button. So like, and he was the chip leader. So that was like a strong fold. Like that was a tight off book fold. And I mean, against a player who's very capable of 3-betting wide, and Roy was right. When you're right, you're right. So nice play, sir. I mean, dude, he would be in a drastically different tournament position had he gone with that hand right now, right? Like, yeah. I mean, I guess Paganini would be out, but Roy would be the one like way in third place instead of a 3-way tie for first, right? Pretty sick.
Yeah, that's a crazy hand too. 5-6 suited. Ole gonna raise here on the button. Basically, yeah, 3-way really congested now. And I mean, Pagan 1 is short. Okay, reasonable bet. Flops open-ended, paired board 7-4-4. Can't imagine Simon going anywhere. Does now pair the ace.
Yeah, great card for Simon. And man, this could be bad news bears for Ole in this pot because he's got 6 high, he's got an open-ended straight draw, he's got a lot of incentive to bluff, and he's probably going to fire on the turn. Yep, big sizing, and Simon is going nowhere now. This is going to the river, and if we hit a blank, we get to see what will happen. It's dicey. I mean, Simon has a hand that calls a lot on the river. I will tell you that. Hitting the ace on the turn. Oh my
goodness. Ole, get the bowl out. Wave the flag for the bowl. Ole pairs it. I mean, this is a clean river here for him as it gets. No spade. 5-6 comes home. He gets a pot-sized bet on the turn.
Jesus, there's a lot in there. And Simon has a pretty good hand here. I mean, he's blocking 5-6 too. So the problem is if Ole goes big, like this is
jugular.
Like I kind of expect him to call here. He has one of the better hands to call with. Oh my God.
Yeah, he doesn't have a spade.
He's almost out of time.
Oh shit. This is crazy, man. He's made every right decision. He's made every right decision. There's the 3 million short stack as well. He knows.
Oh yeah.
But he knows Ole knows that. 4, 3. What's he gonna do? 2. He does fold. He just finds the answers. These guys are insane. These guys are insane. Did he show his hand? I thought he showed his hand.
It's actually kind of crazy. Like Ole's made some big hands and like not gotten paid off. Like if he just got paid off on like all 3 of those instead of folds, like he'd just like the tournament be over or something, right? I mean, like That was like 20 million in chips. The other one was like 12. I mean, there was a lot between those river bets. And like, it was reasonable on all of them. Like, really, if he got called, you know what I'm saying? Wow.
Simon's got 2 seconds left. Let's see if that comes into play later.
How does that?
29 seconds.
Do you get like 5 seconds every decision, or what?
You just get the normal clock, like whatever that, whatever that is, as the time counts down. You just don't.
That's 0.
Bin, you're in the muck.
Does it add something every, like, do you know? I guess we'll see.
I believe there is, but no, I think for the final table, you just get you get 15 minutes.
So when it goes to 0, he's just getting auto folded every hand. Like, he must have like some small modicum of time, like 2 seconds or 5 seconds.
Did you just drop modicum on the YouTube chat? Did you just smoke a Stanford SAT word on us? I mean,
okay.
Rast,
my lexicon is nothing to sneeze at. Okay.
Fair enough. Jack 8 suited though. What's he doing here? Is he going for it, or is Ace 5 suited going to get to show this down?
Chat, listen, the chat says 5 seconds. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 5 seconds. That seems reasonable.
Every action, even every action.
He's down to 5 seconds for the rest of the final table. Okay.
Yo, look at this.
Simon's been playing great, but he's on Blitz. You know,
Olay.
He's on Blitz.
Olay. I was thinking, listen, when we were talking about drafting, someone said we forgot to do that. That's on me at the start of chat. Rast loves action. I was thinking about Olay at like in third or something when we were talking about if we had to do a snake draft from there. I mean, this guy is talented. And like you said, he hasn't even gotten paid, Rast, on a few of these hands.
I will tell you the thing Ole has going for him, beyond the fact that he's like the chip leader now by a decent amount, is he has the most time. I mean, Simon's going to be on the 5-second limit for every decision going forward, which is not very much time. Okay. I mean, it's just snap. He's got to make decisions.
Wow. Yo, Rusty.
Oh my God.
44 million shove. I mean, I'm just stop. This is too much. I'm having too much fun, man. This is like, I would never even consider that. That would never even cross my mind. And in that spot, I'm just like with that hand. That's just, I mean, I get it.
Jack deuce off.
And if you're Pagan, you're kind of like, wait a second, maybe I could just fold a couple extra because Ole might just start ripping it and someone might get caught in the crossfire.
Paganini, bro, you can't afford to be using your clock pre-flop.
Ole probably wants to keep him around, although A7, it doesn't really change much if he doubles them. So he just goes for it, right? He's just got the best hand. Ole's really got the moves, dude. I mean, that's not a secret. The guy can play some poker, but A7, Queen deuce. I don't even think he cares if he wins this hand.
Well, I mean, the other thing about it though is that it's not like the blind's gonna fold. It was so short, right?
Right.
He'd rather win the chips than the blind. And he has a hand that
I can tell you what.
I think that's why
I could just tell you something right now. These three gentlemen, shout out to my man Pagan, 1-1. Super Millions winnings were 0. Now it is much more. Big score. GGPoker winnings 483. That 4th place finish is going to take him over $1 million. It looks like total because that's 663 getting added at total. And these are 3. This is your guess is as good as mine. I guess you got to take Ole with the chips. But man, Simon as well, and Rui, I know how great a player he is. So what a treat we are in for today, guys. Hope you're enjoying. If you're watching, hit that thumbs up button. It helps a lot. I'm having a blast. I'm your host, Brian Rast, guest. We are on the Super Million Season 2, Episode 42. Rast, just an absolute
listen, he passed 4s.
Banger.
Oh, but Ole's gonna jam here, right? I mean, like,
I got hungry too. Oh my goodness.
30
is he
blind.
just gonna?
Oh, wow, he's calling.
He's got gears. This guy, he's got gears. He's just not, got 2,000 on right now. Yeah, he's gonna take the sherbert. Yeah, Ole's just got him in such a handcuff situation. You just can't call off there. Although, he's using that 430 time bank, and there is a look at the payouts. All the way up. Chris Kladnicki with a nice 500, cool 500. Jal Vieira, excellent player, 394. So many class decisions and people really brought their A game. This has been an absolute treat today. Look at what's at stake though. 1.447 million. Yeah, my man Karlenko in the chat saying 2,000 people watching, only 180 likes. Rast, get on the YouTube channel. You better hit your thumbprint on there. Appreciate all you guys. I see so many familiar faces. We welcome you in every week. Super Millions on Tuesday, 10K buy-in. Rast, are you a fan now? Do you see the power of the Super Millions, the 10K buy-in? I mean, this is big purse, man. This is exciting.
We're gonna get a 3-bet here. Yeah. And
That's
fold. So
3-bet and a fold. That's shaping up. It's moving.
wow, just open jam.
All right, well, three-handed here, boys. King 7, Ace 4, key cards for the Ace 4. Simon, though, no time bank, so let's see if it comes into play right now. This is actually a bit of a hand where there is some decisions going on. And
Yeah.
both players got a decent piece of the board here.
Wow. Oh, wow, what a card. Taking tricky lines versus somebody when they're short on time seems pretty cool. So he's just gonna lead this, figuring his opponent might have a problem finding too many bluffs or something.
That's a straight flush. In case anyone's wondering at home, he's got the nut. He wanted that ace of clubs to shoot on over to Ole, but he does make a straight flush, and there's no time bank. He can do. He's just got a bet.
Ace high flush. He doesn't have the 4 clubs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm exhausted. You're right. Somehow I saw you the 4, and then I saw the ace clubs, and I just wanted to pair it all together. I'm used to some big hand drafts. We've been sweating a lot of short deck. We've seen some quads and straight flush. Oh my goodness!
He can't fold. Is he gonna fold?
He can't. But what the fuck? He does call it off at the end. What just happened, Rast? That was insane. Yo.
Ole went for it, man. That's what happened.
I mean, I guess he just figures he doesn't have, no one ever has a straight flush, and he's got, that it may be a lot of not a lot of aces in his. I mean, this is just sick. And now, I mean, Ole maybe looks like he's on tilt, but he's not. Rui's got a frustrating hand because it's a big hand, three-handed, but can't call off.
Those are.
Is that the other part of that too is the interesting part there. Rast, the other part of that is I wonder if part of that goes into his mind that he just can't think long, right? What does Simon do with like the 9 of clubs or something, or 10 or jack of clubs? I think that might have been, he might have leveled himself there. And look at this. Ole's going to wake up with 10, snap it off, and we are off to the races, boys. Ole at risk has the lead. The taxi cab versus 10s. Safe flop, 7, 6, 4, deuce, one more river. If he can fade it, it is going to be a brand new ball game again. He does it. Ole, don't count him out. What a moment. Rast, this is wild, man. I mean, we're seeing some crazy stuff.
I will tell to my person. This sandwich?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you don't have it, you don't have it.
But tomorrow you will have it, okay?
Well, I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah. So tomorrow you will have one to say goodbye to you, okay?
All right.
Could you please in there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got 10 jack and queen 3 suited. Everyone's got a little something, man. This is like, I'm jazzed up. I might pull an all-nighter. This is like crazy highlights, crazy hands.
That was a pretty wild bluff. I also wonder if he's thinking like, hey, he's out of time. maybe it's like hard for him to make a thin call here. I mean, obviously the ace of clubs isn't too thin, but right, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so maybe if
Look
he's
at
just
this
like
shove.
he's value betting
I mean,
like the jack of clubs or whatever. Man, he's
dude,
like going nuts right now.
he's going nuts and he's finding, I mean, 10 jack, not a bad hand to call here. Either no spade, blocks jack 9, has a 10. And these guys have made such good decisions, though. It's shocking. Like they literally, you know, Rast, I think Ole might have leveled himself with the time bank there. That he's like got no time bank. He's got to like think about it. Like I don't know. Like that was a savage spot to go for it.
Wow. Well, at least now he's got some bluffs in there because earlier he had it and they were folding. And now he just got that one through. Man. Ole always got some balls, huh?
Yeah.
That guy, that guy, he goes for it, man. Pretty sweet. Yeah, what I'm saying on the check raise hand, maybe also one of the things he figures if his opponent was value betting thin, he doesn't really have enough time to like, do I want to call here with like the queen of clubs or like, you know, does my opponent have the ace or king? How often? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was, that's what I'm
like
thinking.
really, it like you might be like with the time pressure, I get extra folds. I don't know. I mean, just like one thing I'm thinking.
Can we just say, look, did we blink though? Ole makes that huge bluff. He's back to 49 million, Rast. He's got the chip lead commanding. He's got half the chips in play. Goes big sizing. I mean, king 3 suited. It's tempting. He's got no time bank though. All right, he's gonna call. Yeah, this is a spot, Rast, where it's stuff hands like this, right? And you can see Ole going for quick bets, right? That might be part of the deal. Look at this, man. This is a super interesting dynamic with the time bank.
Please. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Guys, chat, can you calm down? Okay, I had some problems with the order. They forgot something, had to bring it. I mean, relax, okay? It's like a 3-hour commentary thing. I haven't eaten all day. Give me a break, okay?
Rast, welcome to YouTube. Please, they're the best. You got to respect them. You got to be on their team. You know, if you're going to order, you got to be careful. You got to mute your mic. Don't chew with your mouth open. What else can I tell you? Keep it together here. We got some high stakes poker going on. Playing for 1.4 million.
Yeah,
Ole
I thought maybe
50.
the food would come after the stream ended. I mean, that was like the fastest order of all time. It took them like 15 minutes or less. Usually room service takes over a half hour. Anyway.
I should have ordered room service a while ago. I don't even know. I'm at a place. I got a rented boardroom. I need to get some food for sure. I might go hit that yogurt again, Rast. No, I really might. I'm not far. I'm like right there. That's literally where I'm at. So I might go get some food there.
You're gonna have to find out what yogurt that is so you can buy it up for your house.
It's true. All right, Ole with the real hand and Rui Fier with the king 7. Understands Ole's going to be opening super wide here. Does just call. Doesn't play amazing all in when called.
No, I like to call.
Yeah. Everything working for Ole right now, and goes for the check raise timing though. We're not going to be so nice when Ole just has top. Question is, oh, and he just clicks it back on him. I mean, this is just world-class shit. I mean, he happens to have it here, but like the fact that even just, I love the sizing there. KG, this is fun.
Man, Ole's an animal. That guy.
He's an animal.
I remember it's been a long time since I played with him live. But I always remember him getting after it. Just big stacker out, building, you know what I'm saying? Early in the tournament, like active, but it's been a really long time.
So this is quite a card. After Queen 6 of diamonds, just out flopping, getting super out flop. The ace of hearts arrives, and now both players have a lot going on here. Let's see if Ole is going to take an aggressive line or just call it. This kind of obviously not great card. He does check raise. So this is super dicey, right? I mean, you got no time bank. You got ace king. You know Ole can be up to no good, but look at the pay jump.
Oh,
250,000.
what are you going to do? Wait, no, he got the call in. Oh my God,
he hit
Queen. Dude, that's a dirty card right there. That is a dirty card. I mean, he's just going to bet. Yeah, he's jamming. How do you fold this? I mean, dude. I mean, he's folded every time, but come on.
Last time he was bluffing.
Oh my goodness. He might have timed out, honestly.
Well, no, I mean, he knows he's got no time bank, but yeah, I mean, this is absolutely insane. This is like, I might do like a 3-part highlight video on the recap. This has like been a wild FT, dude. This is super wild. Ole with this deuce 8 off, gonna run.
I don't think Simon meant to fold that. I mean, I think he just ran out of time.
Wow. Wow. Got 11 bigs here. King Jack off, 8-9 off. Does go for the limp.
Ole has like twice as many chips as both of them combined.
Yeah, he's got something working here. Got a key diamonds. He's got a lot of stuff here. Let's see. He is going to put it in 8-9. I mean, Rui's got less than a SPR 1. He has no diamond. Can't really imagine that call off, but does beat some things. Kind of the problem if you're good, you're gonna have to fade a lot. 7-8 suited for what's that? 7-8 blinds. Yeah, 6-8, just over 8 blinds for sure gonna go in. Also knows people aren't. No, he just gets to get it in here.
But that's definitely a spot where it's good to save a little bit, because if Ole goes all in and then all in behind, you fold, right? So that's a spot where it definitely made sense for Roy to do that play that people always do, and like half the time it doesn't mean anything, but that time it definitely did.
So Ole has a real hand, and he's got a real lead right now. 71 million, 22 million, 6 million, and ace 10 suited. Very difficult spot if you're Simon, right? Because Ole could just go crazy like he's been doing.
I think you just rip this. You rip this. You don't min raise. Yeah, you just rip it. It's too strong to fold, even though you have ICM. But I mean, this is a big hand, right?
Yeah.
But
nice sorted out. Nice to sort that out in a short amount of time. Because that is kind of a weird one.
Yeah.
Next payout after is 7 figures, and Ole just really leveraging that stack of Rui at this point. Blinds are up, Rast, and here, and wow, everyone's got something.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh, he doesn't have any time. He has no time.
He's gonna call, and it is Rui who's got 5 million. Ole is just in with this. Is just feels like it's something could go awry. It just feels like he's got the spade draw. He's got a lot happening. Can Simon fade the river? Oh my goodness, he does it. 46 million, dude. Rui got a real sweat for 250 stacks right there, Rast. With the 4 million stack. He folded ace deuce suited there. That's actually another point. He had the ace deuce suited. So Rui would have doubled or tripled. But yeah, he's got to fold, right? I mean, that's a great scenario. With his stack to get a 2-1, he's got a 33% chance of making 250K there.
Now Ole has to have a little bit of respect because they're both basically the same stack.
Sick. Sick, sick, sick. This is insane.
This Ole guy is pretty fun to watch. I will say that. Like, he plays entertaining poker, right? I mean, I doubt too many final tables are boring when this guy is playing.
Oh. All right, so Simon takes a no equity bluff and just turns a pair. Now checks, and Ole has that sneaky queen with a top pair. Or I'm sorry, queen with a gut shot. Now
I don't think ace hits Simon that much. He can value bet a queen. I like it.
Simon literally hasn't made a mistake. I mean, these guys are playing so tough, Rast. There's some great decisions. Guy's got no time.
Basically, Simon just almost always folds river versus him, and Ole just like always has it versus Simon. It's crazy.
Yo, he just ripped 50. He just ripped 50 mil there.
I need Simon to tell me personally that he meant to fold the ace king.
Yeah, Simon, if you could DM one of us, a lot of respect for you, brother. Would love to get a. I mean, because that was sick too.
That was a fucking crazy fold. I feel like he ran out of time and like wasn't sure. But like, if he actually clicked fold on that one, I mean, Jesus.
And is he just ripping this too? No, call just a little good enough. Ace 10, ace 5. All right, so they both check back. No one has a diamond. Simon's got no time bank for what it's worth. Again.
Oh my God. You're turning the ace 5 into a bluff. Man, this guy is good. With no time.
It's sicko. They're sick. This is sick.
Simon, this guy's a fucking sicko, bro. Simon is really fucking good.
You don't want to see him at the WSOP this year, right, Rast? This is a guy, this
How
guy
come he doesn't come to this Triton shit? How come he's not here?
I don't know. They're lucky. Players are lucky. This guy's going to be back in. Oh, he calls the 7-3, so a chance for some life here.
I definitely want to see Simon at the WSOP. I'm going to say, yo, what's up, man? I called your tournament. You played fucking awesome.
And he just got an awesome run out with 7-3. Going to put Rui Fiera in the GGs. 1.1 locked up. Simon and Ole. And look at this, man. That's a guy, 1.7 million in Super Millions alone, 7.5 online. Great player. I'm telling you, Rast. Maybe a couple sizings you weren't a fan of, but the guy's got moves.
No, he played really good for sure. I mean, listen, all these guys are playing really good. Simon's just playing fucking world class. I mean, Ole is fun, but I mean, dude, wow. I am just so impressed with Simon, this guy. I mean, listen, everybody has their on days, but he is on today. It's almost insane. Like, he should be out of this, you know? And he's like, has a small chip lead right now. No, I do know Ole. I have played with Ole at a table before. I didn't know Simon.
And he's got absolutely nothing. Ole has a heart. And he's got heart for sure. Look at this. Rasty.
Wow. These guys are playing poker. Oh, 6-8. Ooh, a little 3-bet. I don't think 6-8 can continue though.
No, they're 60, 50 blinds deep.
Yeah. Just see ya.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying. Let us know where you're watching from. We are in Madrid. Rast and I are not in the currently same location, but we were doing commentary all week. Triton Poker, which was GG proud sponsor of that. GG sponsored, and we have had a blast doing commentary with, now online, Rast. You get a little taste. This is not Mickey Mouse stuff. You don't even want to miss your food because every hand, this is exciting. These guys are playing for a lot of money, but they're also willing to go for it.
Listen, the only thing I need to see for me to not just like run up and down the hallway talking about Simon is all that we need now. There's some crazy pot where they're pretty deep now and it's like bet, bet, bet. And Simon makes some absurdly thin call on the river for like all of it. So like, so far he's folded and he's had it. It's been sick folds. But how about he just like picks him off when it's the bluff next? That would just be like, end it, okay? Because that would be like fold, fold, fold. He had it every fucking time, even though he's bluffing in a bunch of other spots, and then he just has it. That would just be absurd at this point. Like he just folded every time until he was bluffing, and then he calls him.
He's got no time bank, just to add to the storyline. But these guys,
no time bank, getting it right.
Yeah, I hope he's not playing multiple tables right now, which probably not. We're playing for 1.5 million. You just deal out, right? You just deal out. Yeah, you got to sacrifice him.
Well, I will say, I at this point, I'm happy it's these two guys heads up because we have Ole, who's been just doing some crazy, insane, fun stuff, playing a bunch of good pots as well, and Simon, who has no time bank and somehow getting it all right.
Yeah, this is just exciting. This is all you can ask. This is really all you can ask for. King 10, ace deuce, real hands, heads up. Queen 7 off is the computer hand. So both players above starting average of a hand. And got to believe two guys that are pretty competent heads up, Rast. You never know how much heads up players do, but these guys have just won so many tournaments. So that's, they played heads up. They know what they do. They know that there's a lot of money heads up. So this is, someone just said Simon Max late reg, which I'm not sure if true or not, but either way, these guys they got moves. It's going to take something special here. Great call.
You never
cooler
know.
For sure.
I mean,
they have played some big pots with modest hands.
Yeah. I don't, I wouldn't say it would take a cooler per se in the way most people think of a cooler, but I mean, these guys are capable of, taking one guy takes a good spot and the other guy has enough to hang on and, whatever, you get to the end and it's not necessarily, like two huge hands, but I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a hand that makes some sense because they're both playing good poker. So it's not going to be something absurd, probably. I mean, I wouldn't entirely put it past Ole, but if anything, it makes him tough to play against. Like Ole seems like a bit of a handful at times.
All right. Both players connect a little bit here. 7-4-2 pair. Going to go for a 40% pot. A little less. Gets called. 3-4 sticks on. Decent card if you peel with the 4-3. Simon going to get in a overbet 150%. And Ole definitely could get sticky. But that's a big size there to call. And Ole's running down on time as well. That chess clock's getting lower as his heads up.
He's still got a ways to go.
Yeah.
Ole plays pretty fast. That 340, I mean, I bet he won't run through it in the tournament. Unless he takes like a really long time on one hand, but. Oh, this Madsen guy, he's pretty young, huh?
Yeah, he's a sick puppy.
I'm looking him up. Oh, wow. Going for it with the 6-8 off. Ole's not a guy who likes to be bullied. 5x 8-10 off. No problem. Let's go.
And look at the 6-8 off lead, bro. Yo, this is stuff. This is things going on, Rast. We're seeing the full spectrum of ability, plays, hands, creativity. King 3 suited here. Jacks. Gonna see a call, and King 3 suited out flops Jacks. Got the heart. Imagine some sort of smallish bet. No bet, Rast.
Yeah. Listen, Rangers are super wide. Jacks is a hand. Like love check. Only one overcard the queen. So, but Ole just going big right here. He feels what's up. I mean, it's pretty hard. I mean, like pretty hard to fold for one bet here. Yeah. You can maybe fold now, but not for one bet on the turn.
Well, he doesn't have much time. King 3, 12 million in there. Decides to check, and Jacks, I'm sure, going to welcome a check back here, of course. Be happy if it's good.
Yeah.
It's not. And we got an even game, Rast. Dead even. 50-50. 51-48. Oh, they're going to start limping. Remember that heads-up match we saw this week, Rast, where it went so much limping it took forever? I don't know if we got 3 hours at us for a heads-up match right now.
No,
but
that's not happening. This is online as well.
Yeah, no, this is going to move. This is going to move.
But yeah, these guys are pretty happy playing post. Certainly, you know. And I can't blame them. Their decision making is quite good. Makes a lot of sense that they want to play post flop.
Oh, this has got potentials. Board pairs, though. On the turn, A7 top pair for Ole Shemian. Simon with the open-ended. And Simon now. It's got
What happened pre-flop? Was it limp raise call or?
I thought it was open and flat, but I got it. And then there's a bet on the flop. I believe so. Almost positive. See here on the river what Ole is going to come up with the A7. Goes for the big bet. This is a hand that, you know, could get hero by some hands. He has not the hand to call with 8 high. 2 suited hands, King 5 suited, 10-6 of hearts. Ole goes for the min raise. Simon going to be happy, likely to take this one to a flop. We both see this is collision, Rast. This is action. This is something over, gut shot, backdoor hearts. Got the King 5 suited, flop, the front door flush draw. Goes big here. And Simon, though, I mean, this sizing is big, but Simon's got to like his hand as well. Does call. Turn, no help to either player. Big brick, 3 of spades. So Simon now
like
on the turn.
Ole might check this back.
He does beat some draws. You would think, though, like a real pure. Just going for it.
I mean, that bet right there is targeting anything worse than a 9 for sure to fold.
All right, so Ole with a little separation. Queen 7 off the computer hand, dead middling flop, and here he does flop. I mean, these guys are creative, and they got some things working with their hands. Jack Queen obviously likes the 2 overs and open ended. Ole's got a club in his hand, a gut shot, and then check back from Jack Queen. Still has the best hand. See what Ole wants to do if he wants to go big here.
Yeah. Yeah. Given the way Ole plays, it definitely feels like a big size here. But I mean,
Jack Queen.
I don't think Mattson can fold.
No. But now the 7 actually gets in the lead.
Now we're gonna see Mattson bluff. This is not getting shown down.
Yeah, it's no time. How much does he bet? He's got to already know what he wants to do. And he does get the bluff in, and Queen 7.
Hold on, though. Let's look. Is he going to check raise? I mean, this is not an absurd place to go for. Yeah. Yeah. I told you he's a sicko. He just takes the spots, bro. I mean, like.
Wow. I mean, I might have to break this replay on my into 2 parts. I'm just like, there's been some. This is Rast. You got to admit, this has been fun to watch. These boys really got moves. They got tricks. They just know where they're at. They have good timing.
One of the fun things about commentating Ole is it's like when I'm like, oh, it's like you're like, oh, hey, this is like a check raise spot on the river. He just like takes it a bunch.
Yeah,
he makes you look awesome as a commentator because you find the spots. You know, half the time people don't take these spots, but Ole's kind of a sicko. He takes them like a pretty high percent of the time, at least at this final table. I mean, yeah.
I mean, they both locked up 1.1 million guaranteed. They are playing for 330,000 plus. So there's a lot to play for, Rast. That's a lot of buy-ins. But yeah, I mean, this is a coveted title. 10.2 million in the purse, 10K buy-in. Season 2, episode 42. Hope you're enjoying at home. Guys, hit that thumbs up. Rasty, get on your phone, get on your mobile, get on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, guys. We appreciate you. This is fun. I'm having a blast. I know these guys are having a blast. They just had a 7-figure score online on a Tuesday, nonetheless, out there. So big score, big day. And Rast, I know this ended up being the longest Super Millions maybe in a long time, too. I think they're normally about 2 hours. We've been on for over 3, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I know you're exhausted.
You're like, it'll be done by 11 for sure. 10:30, 11 for sure.
To be fair, I didn't realize it was this special prize pool because normally it's like 500 to first. So this is like, you know, this was deeper, bigger stacks, more entrants. This was not, I did not realize it was today. I knew there was the series going on and I knew we had off last week. Makes sense. It was a double week and juiced up, but crazy. I saw those chip stacks to start. I kind of realized we were going to be in for a bit. I should have ordered room service myself. It is late. I am tired. I got an early flight tomorrow, but I'm thrilled to have done this. I appreciate you coming on, Rast, and let's get ourselves a winner tonight. Did you see the short deck? The short deck ended, by the way.
Yeah, I heard Chidwick won. Yeah.
Stevie Chidwick. 1.8. Tony G got second. 2 7-figure cashes for Chidwick at the Triton stop here in Madrid this week, taking a second in the first. Great stuff for him. King 8, Queen Deuce suited. They both feel enough showdown. King 8's got the lead in the hand, but over a 2-to-1 dog now to Ole. You know, my son and Stevie's daughter are born one day apart and they have their first kiss together. They had their first hold hands and their first kiss. So they got a little something going on there. 6-9, 5-6. No one has anything, but that doesn't mean the person won't win with the worst hand because they both have nothing. Sometimes when you are first to bet, you just get to win, Rast. And that is what Ole is doing. And Simon is no slouch, man. I'll tell you, 2 of the best in the world. it's fun to watch because every hand someone's doing something fun and creative, and we're getting to see a match here. But Ole's got the lead right now, Rast. It's getting a little bit of a separation.
I got to tell you, maybe in the ring game, I probably like Simon's game a little bit more. But heads up, I mean, maybe Ole's the pick. I mean, dude, this guy is a lot to handle heads up. I mean, he has some crazy aggression and just like really good understanding of spots, insane pressure. I mean, dude, playing this guy heads up is got to be a nightmare, you know,
with no time bank. That is asking a lot. That has been the real. It's a real favorite.
I mean, look at this guy, just like potting, overbet, like check raising. I mean, he's a nightmare, dude.
I can't blame him for calling this either if he calls, but is he just going to find another? Yeah, this time it just felt like there was a lot working for him. The deuce pair runoff, got the 6, the 7 in there. He has a pair, and he's giving himself a pat on the back there. He's got the separation now. He can feel it. And this will not work for a shove, but he could win. 6-9 suited, it's on the line. Ole Shemian has been just going to town. He flops the 9. There is an over gut shot, and now one card away takes away the river.
That's it.
That's it. Ole Shemian, your season 2, episode 42 champion. Masterclass by him. 1.447 million going out the door. But Simon, what a legend. Goes out of time bank. Really made some great folds, great decisions. We got to ask him about that ace king, Rast. We got to ask him if he made the fold or he just wasn't out of time, but it was a tough decision. Made so many great plays, so many key hands. We saw aces to kings. Kings even get away without going broke. We saw 7s to aces. We had get theirs. We had folds. We had rivers. We had bluffs. We had great calls. And there he is. Ole Shemian adding to his illustrious career 2.182 million, and GGPoker winning 6,238,000. Just an absolute savage. Ole, cheers to you, brother. Well played, Simon. Well played, everyone. So many big names. This was a treat. Rast, thank you for being here, guys. I hope you had fun. I had a blast. Rast and I need some sleep. We will be back for more Super Millions action May 5th to May 31st. Huge series, 150 million guaranteed on GG, I believe. Setting records for series online, putting out the best stuff, man. Rast, get some rest. Thank you so much. I'll see you very soon. And guys, we'll be back for more action next week. Super Tuesday on Tuesday, Super Millions. Cheers. Good night.